welcome to the Co-optional Podcast.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Everyone was prepared. Yay! It happened. We did it. Today is October 9th, 2018, and this is episode 230, featuring our special guest, Dan, NerdCubed.
Yay! Yay! It's that guy! His YouTube channel's dying! Woo!
Everybody's YouTube channel's dying! Except for Jesse. Jesse somehow manages to keep a YouTube channel. I don't understand. Jesse, teach us your ways. Tell us. What is your secret?
I'm gonna let you know the real truth. I'm gonna let you know the real secret.
Okay.
Don't give up, ever. The end. There you go. Done.
I thought you were going to say don't be popular in the first place. Just don't be popular in the first place, and you can never drop.
Right.
I've given up trying to make the joke of like, don't be popular, because everyone's like, you actually have people who watch you. No one watches me. So I just instead will simply say, slow and steady wins the race. I may not be a 12 billion subscriber YouTuber, but I do enough to live my life, and I've never been happier. So cheers to everyone just doing their shit and getting it done. You're the hero.
Cheers.
Boosh.
What's in our cups today? Jesse, you're drinking some Star Schmucks. What's in it?
It was supposed to be a vanilla latte with skim milk, but instead it is a non-flavored latte with what appears to be an almond milk, which is fine. I'm not hurt by it, but it definitely is the wrong order.
Accident. Yeah.
It definitely is the wrong order.
Did they at least get your name right, or did Kristen go fetch it?
My name's not even on here. They gave me a thing. I have a drive-through. Oh, we have a Starbucks drive-through. So.
Oh, we have one too, but I still get my name written on it, which is dumb. I don't know
they don't
why.
write my name.
I just,
Yeah.
They don't.
I think they're
write
working
me.
too hard at that point. It's like, why do you bother to write it? Like, in case I decide to, oh man, this drive-through line is so annoying. Here, let me get out of my car and walk inside.
No wonder. See, I should have read. No wonder it tastes different. They didn't give me a grande vanilla latte. They gave me a grande blonde latte.
Oh,
Ah.
that makes
Blonde
sense.
being that weird ass flavor they've created that's like supposedly sweeter,
I mean,
but I don't want sweet coffee.
Isn't
That's why I put the vanilla in it.
Isn't their blonde coffee just like their lightest roast that you can possibly get?
I thought that's
I
what it
don't
was.
know. I don't know the rules. I don't get it. All I get is like, look, I get the same thing every time. I'm not a special person. Grande vanilla latte, skim milk. That's it. That's all I get. That's it.
Got you.
I'm not like a special person. I don't need pumpkin spiced frittatas or whatever the hell they have now. I don't do that.
Yeah. So
But
hey,
I'm sorry. In my red cup today, I didn't even bother to go to Starbucks. I brought this at home.
I would love it if you were like, in my red cup today, not Starbucks, whiskey. Lots of whiskey.
In my curdle.
So when I was growing up in Oregon, we had like way more drive-through coffee places, just like in parking lots and stuff, than normal walk-in coffee places. And then I moved here where everybody's in their car constantly and doesn't have time to like fucking park and walk into a place. And yet there were no drive-through coffee places.
You want to know why that is?
Now they're just finally having drive-through coffee places.
I'll tell you why that is.
Why?
Internet and places to sit down, and like, it's good meeting places and good places to look important. Coffee shops are always like the quintessential, like, if you're in
I'm
LA,
working on my script.
absolutely. The amount of people working on things on computers. The other day I was at a coffee place and there was like 15 people all working on PowerPoints. I was like,
Amazing.
why are you all here working on PowerPoints? I don't know if they were in a class together or they're collaborating. It was just very bizarre.
Was they projecting them onto the wall as well? Just testing them out. That would be great. I go to Starbucks for just random people's presentations. I would watch that.
Holy shit. Wait, there should be a coffee place that totally does a thing like that where it's like, do you need to practice your speech for your class?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Come
it's
to our
called-
workshop night.
It's called Presentations. That's the name of the coffee shop. But it's like, spelled a little douchey, right? And
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also the place where you go and they have a big screen. If you want to, you can just get up there and give a presentation on something. And everyone
And everyone can give feedback.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think the
So that
person
you can
giving the
prove.
presentation would have to buy everybody's coffee though, because it's like a focus group at that point, and people need to
Sure,
be
yeah.
compensated. So it's like the penalty for practicing your shtick is you have to buy everyone around. That's
I like it.
Yeah, but if you stay there for like quite a while, you're going to start getting the coffee jitters. If you get there later in the day, you're not going to get the right feedback on that.
You can always reject.
What's fast enough?
You can always be like, I don't want anymore.
I would be so happy to own a restaurant or a coffee shop called Presentations.
Or maybe what it is
Presentations on Santa Monica.
you have different nights that focus on different like subjects, and if you are a professional in that field, you get free coffee for that night.
Wow.
Because you're able to like actually contribute.
And it's your time.
And help out.
You come out there to like teach them what's what. Oh man, it would have to be right near a college campus.
Yeah.
And I think this only works also in the Midwest. Unfortunately, this only works in the Midwest. This is somewhere in
We're the Huskers. We're the Huskers station. You gotta go to Nebraska.
Yeah, this is definitely like if you're in any of the flyover states, this will work there. Because people, I feel like, even though you don't think so, I think they'd be down for a lot of free coffee and they'd be polite about it.
You know what would be even better, actually, is to put that coffee franchise in an airport. All these people flying to these important meetings.
Oh my God,
Shit. Try out your business
before you get there.
But like in the Indianapolis airport, like one where it's not too threatening. Right?
Not too threatening.
It's like some graduate from Purdue just like sidles up and is like, your data is dirty.
Nobody's allowed to ask anybody else what company they work for.
No.
It all has to be like
I think I'd set the ground rules that it's not, you can't tell them what they did wrong informationally, only presentationally, right? So like you can't say, oh, that's wrong information. This would be like, you could have said this better, slow that down, or maybe this is a better way of presenting that. You can't tell them they're wrong. Right. Whatever they've created, because you don't want that to like interfere with the like presentation they made. You can only tell them how to make it better. I think that would be like that's the way to do it. Like, sure, you can come in and be like, aliens are taking our kids, but the only thing you can tell them is like maybe not
PowerPoints about it. Click.
Yeah. Maybe not so manic, right? Like the conversation can't be like, no, they're not taking our kids. It should be like, maybe like take it down about 10 notches and be calmer when you describe it, and show more photos, stuff like that. Like
show more photos of kids being taken by aliens.
Yeah, you have to be.
Yeah. You have to have evidence. Otherwise,
right.
Seriously.
Right, you can't say that it's a bad idea. You can't be like, that's a bad idea. No, you just be like, maybe more photos. Yeah.
You could even like practice doing your future audiobook. In the case of Dan, yay!
I was just gonna say, I feel like Dan should give us some sort of, presentation.
Yeah.
Because he is now a respected author.
I wouldn't go that far. No.
Respected author.
Hey, at presentations, he is a respected author. You can't give negative feedback. You can't tell him what he's doing wrong.
Everyone is
You're right.
Presentations.
Maybe move the book up faster next time.
No, the slow reveal.
Like
no.
That.
No, that's a bit shocking. Now terrifies some people. The book comes out of nowhere.
You're shocked. We're shocked. Everyone's shocked you have a book. Act shocked. Yeah.
Why are you shocked I have a book?
And so what's your book about? Tell us about the book, man.
Well, this book here is this is Artemis Fowl. I took the cover off. Oh, thank God.
Wait, I love Artemis Fowl though.
Yeah, great. I'll read a bit of Artemis Fowl.
Is the plot similar? I mean, what?
No, but the book size was. So that's why we went for this one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a book. It's got words, some jokes, and every now and then a rude word. It's about video games. Mention that. Yeah. Good at selling, isn't I? Yeah, good words.
What's like the thesis statement of your book?
Yeah. Give us like the 1 or 2 sentence blurb.
Yeah. Elevator pitch us this book.
I was going to say, i.e. the pitch that you sent to the publishers before you got the decline letter in the mail.
What's the book about?
I just sent random chapters to different people. It's like, because they're also, it's kind of somewhere between a memoir and just a collection of why I love video games mixed in with just a whole bunch of weird stories. And it's fun. Video games funny. Just that's all I started screaming at people in the elevator was just video games plus funny equals this book, and they were like, "No, nobody wants that." And I went,
So it's a very genuine, personal, like book about you and how video games relate to your life and the sort of things about video games that enrich your life.
Yeah, each chapter focuses on a different video game. From like modern stuff like God of War to really obscure crap that nobody's ever heard of called like Tom Clancy's Ruthless.com, a game about pushing people downstairs that no one's heard of. It's somewhere between chess and an Apple keynote, and you get to kill people who are CEOs. It's a brilliant game, and I played a lot of it, so I wrote about that. So sometimes I'm just like, here's what the game's about, and other times I'm like, hey, I can prove the existence of God, and it's kind of it all, and that is genuinely a chapter. And it's all over the place, but the publisher that I have now really likes it. So.
Great, hey, there you go.
That's one thing. I've set up the manuscript now, so that's done. We crowdfunded it, and we're still kind of doing the whole crowdfunding it because no actual publishers wanted to touch a book with the word "fuck" in the title for reasons I can't quite comprehend. But it's now the UK's #1 highest ever crowdfunded book.
Hell yeah!
So that's all right. We're currently 1,800% crowdfunded.
Nice.
Fuck yeah, if you will.
So if anybody watching the show wants to obtain a copy or continue to fund it for whatever reason, where can they do this?
They can go to... Hang on, I've got to open the link.
Please tell me it's like fuckyeah.com.
I know, right?
But no,
Fuckyeahvideogames.com.
Unbound.com. It's unbound.com/book/NerdCubed.
Oh, so it isn't /fuckyeah?
No.
Aww.
You got to sell that part. You have to sell it and say it so much that it becomes just second nature to people.
Sell it and say it.
The only problem I have is that a lot of people have said that their parents won't buy it for them because it's got a swear in the title. I'm like, then it's not for you. That's kind of why I called it that.
Yeah.
It's more. I don't know. I wrote it. It took a year and a half. I spent time on
save up money, buy it yourself. Damn.
Yeah.
What is this a book that would eventually like is it only going out to the people who've crowdfunded it, or will it be like in
No, it's going to go shops and things off. It was supposed to kind of go to just the crowdfunding people, but now that it's got so much attention and things onto it, a lot of people like bookshops and stuff have now got some interest in it for some reason.
Right.
So it will now eventually
coming
go
to a
there.
Waterstones near you.
Yeah, pretty much. We would hope.
That'd be great.
Do they treat books that have the word "fuck" in the title like porno in a video shop?
They
put it in a black cover.
There's like curtain. There's like this curtain you gotta go through.
You have to like lift up. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to discuss that with them.
Okay. I'm honestly like really curious how they treat books like that. And
I generally think we're gonna have like I think my current plan is a reversible cover, although I think it's where I've got like it's slightly slanted on the front. Well, I think the best thing I want to do is just get, Waterstones always have the big circle price stickers. Put it there. Censor it yourself.
Or like
Censor it yourself.
just have like video games and all the art be the same, but on the inside sleeve, like as soon as you open it, fuck yeah. It's just like it's a surprise,
Yeah. Just some kids like, I'm gonna pick this. Oh no. Lordy, that's some naughty words in there. Yeah, it's been fun. It's been written. We're now just in the... We're skipping the developmental update, apparently. The developmental edit. Because I handed it to them. I was like, hey, this is the first thing I've ever... Like, I've written loads of scripts and stuff in the past. I was like, hey, this is the first time I've ever written a book. This is going to need a lot of feedback. And then it came back. They're like, no, it's great. I'm just going to go to copy editing. I was like, oh, I needed the feedback. I wanted it so bad.
Get it from the audience. They'll, just like a YouTube video, they'll pick every little bit apart. It'll be great.
But Jesse, you understand what he's saying, right? Like,
I know what he's saying.
That it be edited and put together properly before it's
I get it, but it's not going to happen. So much like a YouTube video, it won't be edited or put together properly. So just enjoy that shit.
It's like Hollywood these days. It's like, you read my script. You have no notes. We're just straight to production. Soon, just poof, there you go. And that's how box office
Venom.
flops happen. Oh!
I need to see that movie. The breadth of reactions is so extreme that I need to see it. And I have a fucking baby, and I can't leave the house.
The reason why the reactions
I need to see this movie
is because the movie's not shit, but it's not a good movie. Like, it exists in a weird parallel reality where no one learned anything from the bad comic book movies of the early 2000s, late 90s.
What are
no
you
one learned
talking
and,
about? There were so many good ones,
they're
like
the best.
Street Fighter. It's such a good movie.
It's just bizarre. Like, it's a bizarre film where there's moments where you're like, well, that was super entertaining, and then you're also just like, the fuck just happened?
Yeah, a lot of
all
people
over
are
the place.
saying that it feels more like a weird buddy cop rom-com than a video than like a
That
comic.
has sold it to me more than anything anyone else has said.
I will
about it.
tell-
Right? I'm like, I need to see, but also like they're trying to create a cinematic universe that's entirely Spider-Man villains without Spider-Man in it because they don't own the rights, and that's the most hilarious shit I've ever heard in my life.
It also
Fine, it'll be fine.
like the motivations and everything that happens in this movie are out of whack. But the one thing I will say is I had the epiphany. This is the perfect way to describe it. It is a horror comedy action film. And I was like, I've never seen a movie like this until I realized I had. It is exactly like the movie with Michael J. Fox from like many years ago called Frighteners. Or I think
I
The Frighteners.
remember that.
The Frighteners is a movie that was like originally pitched as like a scary death is chasing these people down.
Oh, yeah.
And then when you see the movie, it's kind of like a comedy.
It's like goofy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then everyone laughed at the movie, they repitched all the trailers as a crazy comedy involving ghosts and shit. And you're like, what the fuck? And it's the exact same type of movie where it has no clue what it wants to be. And so you're just like, I watched that. I don't know.
Somebody just compared it to The Mask. Do you?
Yeah,
compare
I would
it
agree
to
with
The
that,
Mask?
actually.
I think The Mask is a much more well thought out, put together movie.
Oh my God.
I watched The Mask recently, and that's put me off the Venom now.
This is
Like comparatively to Venom, The Mask at least has some like forward momentum. Is a good way to like. This isn't a spoiler. I talked about this on a podcast before, and I'll say it again. It has everything about the movie. It seems like it was written down like, okay, this is the next scene, this is the next scene, this is the next scene, and then as they filmed, they were like, well, how do we get to those scenes? So
Yeah.
at the beginning of the film,
interesting.
it's in the trailer, so it's not a spoil all. At the beginning of the film, there's the scene where he's in a convenience mart, and this woman gets robbed in the convenience mart. And at the beginning, he hides because he's like, I don't do that anymore. Like things have happened to him where he's like, I don't get involved in shit anymore. Of course, everyone in the theater's like, all right, we know what the payoff's going to be. He's going to have Venom, and this scene's going to replay again at the end, and he's going to come in there and kick some ass. Cut to the whole movie, Venom being about like, I only eat fresh food. I don't eat cooked things. I don't eat like I need fresh food. That's like Venom's thing. That's why he wants to like kill people. So cut to the very, very end. The excuse that they need to go back into the convenience mart, which at this point is like, why would you go back in there? Is Venom's like, I could use some tater tots and chocolate. And you're just like, wait, pause, time out. What? Wait, what? So they go back in there, and then of course the scene plays out, and the guy's like, "We're Venom, bitch," and then they eat the dude. And that's sort of like the full circle of that movie trailer moment, right?
Right.
Which is fine, but the process of getting there is like, wait, why did he want tater tots and chocolate? Like earlier in the movie,
Fresh.
making tater tots
Fresh tater tots.
made Venom like sick. Tater tots made him sick, and now that he's like, chocolate and tater tots would be nice. And you're like, the fuck is it? It's that kind of film. We're like,
Amazing.
if you're paying attention, you're angry, but if you're not, you're just like drunk and you're watching the movie. It's probably great. You're probably having a great time because it's like action and shit. But the vast majority of the film is just moments like that. We're like, why are they doing the things they're doing again? What? Yeah.
I love that as a review. If you're paying attention, you're angry.
Yeah. If you're paying attention, you're probably furious.
But go in drunk and you'll love it. That's also what he just
That's
said.
also what I'm saying. Yeah. I see a lot of people who are like, I loved that film. And I was like, you probably had a few drinks going into it. I wouldn't doubt that.
I'm gonna go in stone cold sober, and then I'm gonna call you.
Yeah. I would
I'll
love.
call you the second I leave the cinema and be like, Jess.
There's Dukes, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a conversation right before there's a conversation between Eddie Brock and Venom that sums up, it's like a thesis statement for the whole
The
future
movie.
cinematic franchise.
Okay.
Come back to me when you see that scene. It's right before the final boss battle, and you're just like, what the fuck were they talking? I want you to explain it to me, because I walked out of that theater just like, what just happened? Like, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I will say though, at the end, if you stick through all the credits, there's about a 7-8 minute scene from Into the Spider-Verse, which is like
Oh, sick.
Yeah. So that looks really cool.
I feel like mistakes were made with the tater tots. Should have gotten some Totino's pizza rolls. At least then they could have had some, like, I don't know, exclusive DLC for Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
What? There are Totino's in Assassin's Creed?
Pizza rolls! Oh my god!
Wait.
Yeah. All right,
Are
welcome
we-
to the Catastronauts
are we
podcast.
moving
Sometimes we talk about
into-
video games.
Yeah, are we moving into talking about Assassin's Creed now? Because I gotta know what the fuck. What?
I don't know.
Can't talk about it. I can't talk about Assassin's Creed.
If we're done talking about Venom anyway, I figured
Sure.
that was wrapping up. So Assassin's Creed Odyssey is.
I thought here's my review of Assassin's Creed. The intro is literally 300, and I was like, cool. I dig 300. I dig Sparta. I dig the Adam Jensen basically being the voice of King Leonidas. I was like, that's cool.
Yes.
And then I chose the woman because I was like, fuck it, I want to be a badass chick. And then
Better be anyway.
beat up a bunch of guys who worked for the Cyclops, and then I saw a treasure on the map and ran to get it and was killed by 3 sharks and have not touched it since. I played my playtime literally says 6 minutes, and I was like, cool, well, I won't be playing that anytime soon. 3 sharks, they didn't just kill me. 1 bit me, and then 3 others appeared and hunted my ass down. And I was like, no, it was, I'm done. So that's Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey is an Assassin's Creed game that doesn't want to be an Assassin's Creed game.
What do you mean by that?
It's like it's embarrassed to be one because it is so much like okay.
But what does that mean?
Okay, yeah, all right. So you know how Origins felt witchery? This one still feels witchery, but then like to the next level almost. It's just it does not feel like an Assassin's Creed game, and I know I'm trying to come together with all the words to explain that, but before I do, I need to give you the initial gameplay experience. I like installed the game and I'm like, you play freaking Ubisoft cash grab. So it's like I get beyond that. The first thing I see when I load up the screen is a million microtransactions staring me at the face, basically blaming me for buying the regular standard edition. And I'm like, what's going on? And so I'm like, okay, I got faced with this. And I'm just like, okay, let me put this to the side for a minute because I'm going to be too angry to play this looking at the plethora of microtransactions. So I go grocery shopping. And I'm at Walmart, where apparently Walmart and Totino's Pizza Rolls have teamed up. And if you buy 12 packs of Totino's Pizza Rolls at Walmart,
You're speaking my language right now. I don't know where this is going, but
you get booster packs. So you can play the game that they have a million editions for quicker. Like, okay,
can I ask you a question about those?
Of
Because
course.
this is the thing. When I went to go buy the game, because I'm not, there are many companies I'm not gonna lie, I like Ubisoft games, but I don't want to work with them because their rules are like real strict.
Yeah.
So I just bought the game. When I went to go buy it, I saw that there was the normal version. There was a gold version, and there was some other version, and then there was
5 versions. It's crazy.
then they had a bunch. Then they also had like packs,
Right.
and I didn't know if those were packs that were like multiplayer shit. Like, how does this work?
This is a single player game. This is all.
What is that like? But what does it mean? What are the packs of?
Okay, so in the packs, you have different things like booster packs. So XP boosters. There are microtransactions for ships, weapons, tons of different armor, like tons of different
Will any
things.
of them help me kill those fucking sharks so I can play this game?
Yeah, probably. And that's the thing.
Jesse, just stab the sharks.
That's
Stab 'em.
yeah.
I
just stab the
did. And
sharks.
the blood drew more sharks. It was like my nightmares. Oh God, no.
I've got to the point now where if there's any sharks, like I'm sailing, I see a shark, I just stop the ship. I'm like, excuse me, I'm just run off the front. I'm like, yes! Just blood everywhere, more sharks. Staring at Kraken. I'm like, fuck yeah, Kraken. It's just whirling. I'm like level 10, like it's nothing, but I'm like, yeah, I've got to the point now where sharks just eat.
okay, so my initial impressions of Odyssey were really tainted by the fact of this is Ubisoft. They're not, an indie developer who needs to kickstart their game, for one. So why is it that they're basically saying, I felt like I was a lesser player by purchasing their standard edition and being faced with all these, hey, you didn't buy this gold, platinum, unlimited, blah blah ultimate edition. Even the ultimate edition isn't even ultimate because you can go and get your Totino's pizza rolls, and if you get them at Walmart, there's also another bonus. You get more XP packs. Because I know, but it's but why do I want to pay them more money on top of the game, which I already bought? And let's just pretend I bought the $100+ version of this game.
$149.99 is what it was when I looked the other day.
Yeah, which is an unlimited, but it doesn't have all the stuff that's unlimited because you can buy stuff on top of that, like all your ship skins and stuff and things. Why am I paying money to get through the content that I paid good money to have? Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's
but
a
the reason why I actually like Assassin's Creed
++ hour game. Why?
Whoa. We have a direct opposing opinion? Damn.
So I got the Ultimate Edition because someone donated enough bits on Twitch. And just go buy it. I was like, all right, so I got the Ultimate one. Buy it through the Uplay store. If you got Uplay points, you get 20% off of it because they get the full cut. They don't give 30% to Steam, so you can get 20% back yourself. So I got it for 70 quid, I think, in the end. For the Ultimate Everything Edition. Never noticed there was an in-game store. They don't even... I didn't even see that
first thing that showed up when I started the game.
See, that's weird because because I was on the Ultimate one, it just never... I didn't see it.
Yeah. It's 7 tabs. It looks like Warframe.
8 hours in and someone was like, have you... is there a store? I was like, oh, I checked. I was like, oh, yeah. And then just kind of carried on with it.
Weird.
But I just kind of feel like it's just... If you pay money to speed up Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you're an idiot because it's actually paced as a slow RPG.
It's a grindy RPG that wants you to pay to get rid of the grind.
I wouldn't say it's not grindy. That's the thing. I've played it for 10 hours now, and I haven't gone, I'm grinding at this point. I'm constantly going, I'm going to go do a bounty. I'm going to go do this ship thing.
But because of auto AI scaling, maybe it doesn't feel grindy to you. But me, I want to turn that stuff off because what's the point of leveling if your AI just, scales with you? It's like, I got this new weapon. Point.
Each area has an upper limit as far as I can tell, so it scales up, and then so you can go back and murder everyone on the place where you started, which I've been doing. That's why I enjoy taking on shots. They're 2 levels lower than me, so I'm just a big shark murderer. I'm like, sunken chest. I'm gonna go in there.
Can I ask you a question since you're pretty down with the game, and I just want to ask this to everyone out there as well. Why are we still doing this Abstergo shit? Why is that still a focus of this game that they have to bring me into cutscenes where it's all right, get inside this weird machine. Okay, boss, whatever let's do this. All right, we're going to go back in time. And this spear, we don't know which person it belonged to. There's 2 DNA strands on it, so it could either be a man or a woman. Just cut that bullshit out. And nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares about that storyline. We just want to be a badass, murdering people in different time periods. Why is that a through line?
It's nothing. I'm 10, 11 hours in, and I've had 1 2-minute cutscene. Well, found us me, let's go in the machine, hey! And then it was back to the fun bit. So I feel like at the moment it's just for the people who, for some reason, ever cared about the future stuff from Assassin's Creed.
Or never played an Assassin's Creed game to begin with, which I think is actually kind of what it's there for.
But if you never did, then why include that shit? Because it just...
I had no idea who the 2 people were. There was no explanation about what was going on. It was this is just for the people who care. All right, 2 minutes. Go back, go have fun. Yeah, it's because I played some of the early ones, and then 4 was my peak. So I love the boat stuff, and then I tailed off and I didn't really play anything else. So going back to this, the jump from 4 to this is just huge for me. So there's so many new things and new bits to play, and it's got the ship combat back properly with a lot more. It's less leveling up your ship and a lot more because the ships don't have cannons because it's archers and spears. So you can get flaming archers. You can everyone sings their sea shanties, but as far as I can tell, though, there was no historical evidence of ever there being sea shanties, so they've made them up. And if you have a crew that's all women, it's you hear female voices. If it's all male, you hear male. And it's great. That's what I do. It's we're gonna go slash them in the face, kill some sharks.
So
can you get Greek fire?
Greek fire, is that different
Roman
than regular fire?
Yeah,
Roman fire.
Can you get the various fires that they would shoot out of the ships?
Different brands of fire. Come
Different
to
brands
me,
of fire,
Fire Mart. We
Oh
have
my
different fire.
God. That's fine. I'll just send you all a link so you can look it up.
Oh. Am I going to learn? I didn't come here to learn.
Nope. You're about to learn. I'm just gonna post it in chat. I'm gonna post it for you guys because I'm tired of not knowing stuff.
Oh, not knowing
Greek
things.
fire.
Whoa.
Okay.
Greek fire.
Fire.
Wikipedia.
Greek fire.
Greek fire is a good 1,000 years out of the era. Maybe not. It's Odyssey.
Continue to burn while flying on water. No, you set stuff. Well, you set stuff on fire.
Wait, so you just turned your ship into a dragon?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Greek fire.
Not
Got
that
it.
I've
fire.
seen, so I haven't seen them do that.
No, but I think the game is like 70,000 hours long, so it's really we'll get there eventually. Like I'm 10 hours in, and I got like at the 4-hour mark. I hit the 4-hour mark, and at the 4-hour mark, as I started to sail off, it came up with Ubisoft presents Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I was like, it's 4 hours in.
Whoa.
That's
Nice.
the opening.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's big. And like the map is just like I went to
The map is crazy.
I went to the top, like a highest point on like an island that's a little bit in, and it's just It
Someone-
takes 2.5 hours to walk.
Yeah, to walk across it if you don't use fast travel or anything. They do need more fast travel points. Like the ports need to be. Like I don't understand why that wasn't a consideration to begin with.
Yeah, I feel like they actually want you to genuinely explore this world, because if you just walk from somewhere to somewhere, it does have that Witcher thing of you're gonna bump into something. You're gonna, and if anytime you find any of the notice boards, you just take on every goddamn quest that you can. Just you're like mine, and then you will be like, you'll stab a gun. It's like, well done. I'm like, oh, it's that guy. Oh, good. Glad I killed him. But you're always being like pursued by mercenaries as well, which is taken from the Out of Mordor, whatever it's called. I've never played them.
Oh gosh, the Nemesis system.
Yeah,
It does feel like that very much so.
Yeah.
I liked that.
I really like that, yeah. You empty it like that, you're like, this is going really well. So you hear, and like someone so hard to kill just turns up and you're like, ah.
No.
But I love the fact that
Yeah.
you can actually kill the person who put the bounty on your head. So basically you're kind of like cutting them off at the legs. It's like, I've been too evil. Here, let me just go kill the person who actually put the price on my head to begin with. Yeah,
Wait, does that only happen if you've been doing evil shit?
No, if you make too much of a ruckus, basically, things will come after you, and you can see them
too much
as well.
just in general.
Well, right away, like the very first thing, again, this goes back to the 6 minutes I've played. The very first thing you do is when you battle some, like, I assume some gangster, unless there really is a Cyclops, but they're like, the Cyclops is gonna get your ass, and you can fight them, and when you beat them at the end, even though it definitely looks like you murdered them, they like start to get back up, and it gives you an option of killing them or letting them go. And I was like, for story's sake, I definitely want to let them go, because I know it's gonna come back and like 50 dudes are gonna show up and like, oh, we're gonna get you now. I'm like, yeah, all right. So there are moments like that I imagine continue through the story.
Yeah. I got a big one on the last one. The guy who I thought was genuinely going to be the main antagonist, I killed. And I was like, I thought that's where we were going. And I got to this guy because it was like, you can spare chat. Or I was like, it just, because I did the option like, kill him. And my character walked away. I was like, oh, and then like turned around and stabbed him. I was like, oh, we're doing this. Yeah.
And then the guy just died.
I would love it if you did kill the main villain, and the rest of the game is you just going on adventures because no one's gonna stop you.
Just having a chill ass time.
It's like that Cyclops guy. That Cyclops guy was in the world, and I stumbled into him at one point. I was being chased by some people, and like a cutscene started, and it was Cyclops. I was like, oh, I've made a mistake right now. I ended up killing him by Spartan kicking him off a building. It was
Damn
awesome.
right.
But then, like, it's full of these little details, because in that cutscene, you've nicked something of his, and then you put it on an animal. I'm not saying how, because it's hilarious. You put it on an animal, and the animal runs away, and he's like, that was mine, and then you fight him. And then, like, hours later, someone's like, hey, if you go back and find that animal, kill it, you get the item back. And that happened, and I went back, and I found the animal, and I killed it, and I got the item back, and then I sold it.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
It's got a lot of detail in there.
Going back to what Jesse was asking earlier, can I ask a question of those of you who have actually like legitimately played Assassin's Creed games, because I actually have never really dived into it. Is the whole like storyline of people hopping into this machine and going back in time, is that not a story? Like, is there no arc going on with that?
So I can
People walk
explain
into
this.
a machine and they go back in time and that's it. There's
So
no
Jesse,
drama.
do it.
No drama. It's just normal.
Originally, Assassin's Creed 1 through 3 was, and this is the least spoilery version of this, it was about a character who was connected to the assassins and so was being sent back in time. And the whole reason why you had to do things a certain way is because you had to like keep on the time stream bullshit. You didn't want to like fuck up the it wasn't like you were changing the past. It was like you were messing with the programming, right?
Okay.
And so that shit wrapped up and ended at the end of Assassin's Creed 3. And one of the most ludicrous, stupid, ridiculous endings I've ever seen in a video game. The big reveal was genuinely
spoiler for anybody who
everyone who plays Assassin's Creed 3 knows the ending of that game is wacky as shit. And you're like, the fuck? So at that point, from that point on, it became not that. There was no major story. They just kept including that shit.
Yeah.
Like basically became like, there's a resistance now.
the spoiler alert is up on the screen if you want to like actually
go
say
for
stuff.
it.
No, but like the whole point is at the end of it, there is wrapped up as being very generous. Yeah, it's one of those things where they gave you a really shitty answer for everything and then continued using the future motif as a reason to go back to different times rather than like just be like, fuck it, we don't need that. We can just go revisit times that the assassins were like around and tell you that story. Even Assassin's Creed Origin is like, oh, I can't wait to see the origin story of the assassins. And they still had to cram in like bullshit Abstergo stuff. And you're just like, why though? Why do we need this? And it was never very good.
And if you think watching the movie helps in any way, nah.
Oh, the movie is one of the most insulting things I've ever seen. It is a terrible,
Which is saying something because Michael
Fassbender,
Fassbender, right?
Save Assassin's Creed
No, not even he could save it.
with his goddamn shark mouth,
No.
chomping all over everybody's dreams.
But basically, the whole point of the entire, like the arc of all the stories was basically like, the reason why everyone's going back in time and doing all the shit is they're trying to find a magical artifact that can like change the fate of the world. That's pretty much the point. And so they're going back. It's not time travel. They're going back because they need to follow the exact path these assassins took in order to track down this fucking treasure. And that's sort of, it's not very good. It's like the games themselves are fantastic in when they give you the story of like the time period. Like Assassin's Creed 2 is dope as shit. But like the Abstergo stuff is garbage. Like I hate all that stuff. And the fact that you keep continuing it, and in this one, if Dan's correct, they literally, the scene I saw at the beginning is literally in the first 10 hours the only related scene.
Yep.
Is insane to me. It is insane that they would even include it then.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I haven't seen anything beyond that. It's just
Me
there was
either.
like two people who I didn't know, and they were like, "Yeah." But it's weird because they're going because it's supposed to be you're going back into like the memories. It's like here's exactly how it happened in the memories, and that's why you would like desync if you killed too many innocents. In this, you could just slaughter anyone. Oh,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. And apparently, there's like mythical creatures and stuff. So they've kind of gone. We're just gonna. I feel like in the next game there'll be one like a scene in the future. One guy going, "Nah," and then he just goes back to the past and tells the story.
Well, this is also what's
There's no assassins in this world yet. This is like pre all the assassins. You're not even an assassin.
And that's kind of what
Yeah.
I was trying to explain, like in the beginning. It's like an Assassin's Creed game that doesn't want to be an Assassin's Creed game because
No, it's just an ancient Greek Odyssey game.
right.
And then just put the Assassin's Creed branding on it.
There are
And
stealth elements,
what's
but
even crazier, what's even crazier is that the whole point of the assassins and the main character from like the first 3 games and that kind of shit is literally like, you're the only one who can do this. You are DNA connected to this shit, which is why we have to send your ass back. You're the only one. And this one, literally, it's like, all right, so we found a spear, and on the spear it has 2 DNA strands, but like you can pick which one to follow. What? Wait, why are we even doing this then? Like, could anyone do this? Why
In 4, you were like in future Ubisoft, weren't you? It was like you're in a future game studio, and they were like, we're making a game about pirates. Go and DNA the pirates.
Go DNA.
Game of pirate. I don't know. I never see that problem with Assassin's Creed 4 is it had the Assassin's Creed single like on land stuff was like follow this guy and listen to the conversation. It's so dull. There's like kill this guy, but it's very linear and blur. Whereas in this one, it's like kill that guy over there, probably. Like, and if you've got the exploration mode on, which I recommend you buy, it doesn't even give you blips and stuff on the map. It's like it's kind of a bit southwest of this area, and you get like vague in like areas, and you have to like scout the area with your eagle.
They don't know anything about direction. They're like, hey, you should go west and to do this. It wasn't west. I went west and it wasn't. It's like learn directions. What?
How weird.
I'm trying to. Oh my god! I'm trying to think of what the kid. It's like one of those teen movies What's the one movie that came out where everyone was like, Divergent? That's the franchise. Divergent.
Okay.
So in the this is why Krendor and I love Divergent. So Divergent is a thing where the first couple stories are literally like, you, main character, are divergent. That makes you so different, and there's no one else like you, and you're like the one, right?
But there are other ones.
Later, there's like many the ones, and I feel like it's kind of like we watched.
The point is nobody fits into a box, Jesse.
I understand, but it's like if you went to watch The Matrix and everyone was like, "No, there's plenty of the ones, Neo. Get over it," right?
Everybody can stop bullets, Neo. Goddamn. Yeah,
it's the same thing with this game franchise, where it's like at the beginning it was like one character was the one, the only one who could do this. That's why everyone wanted him. That's why the future stuff was important, because it was the one guy and everyone needed him. And now it's like everyone can fucking do it. What is it? That was nothing. That was stupid. Everyone is the one now. And it's just like, why include this story if it's going to be so off the rails? I don't.
That's kind of
drive me crazy.
That was one of the big issues I had with the new Pacific Rim movie. Is like they established all of these rules about how
these people can drift and be compatible, and then it's like
you have to be compatible and have like all of this history and like practice and blah blah blah. And then in the second movie, spoiler for the second Pacific Rim movie, literally anybody can pair up with anybody and drive any mech, apparently.
As long as you've been in a Star Wars film. Boyega, what?
I was so confused.
Yeah.
I hate when they like in the early ones of any franchise they establish like clear rules and they stick to them,
break them
until it's like until it's like inconvenient to follow the rules, right? And it's like, no, the reason that we liked it is because you stuck to a goddamn fucking story that you put together.
We can't cash grab and make a sequel. I mean, what a Ubisoft thing to do.
Yeah. With that said, though, I really I thought Origins was super fun, mostly because there's no sharks. Gators and hippos don't scare me. But I thought it was great because I love that time period, and I love what they do with it, and I love they literally let you explore everywhere, and it was so much bigger. It felt witchery, which I liked about it.
Yeah, it's huge, and it will continue to feel witchery, and you definitely should go back to it. There are good points to this game. I just haven't gotten to talk about them yet. But please continue.
Yeah, I just think it's fascinating. That's all.
What I feel mostly like the biggest positive for Assassin's Creed Odyssey is that, well, one, it definitely takes Origins and builds on top of that. The combat is probably still the weakest thing that is in this game entirely. I hate the combat so much. It's just
I will say, even switching to the alternate controls, I still don't know why they made the control system the way they made the control system in Assassin's Creed.
It shouldn't be like that. Like, why do I
don't know why they make it so complicated. Needlessly complicated.
No.
Every time. And so I have to keep switching to the alt controls just because I'm like, it makes it a little simpler. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe I'm just too shitty at video games. Maybe that's the lesson here. I just suck.
No, and that's how it makes you feel in a way. It makes you feel like you're just not good enough to play this game in some weird way. Things that I
climb high, spot and kick people off. That's how you do the combat in this game. There should be literally no other controls. I don't need weapons. I just spot and kick people off.
Just
watch and go.
Stealth. Just use your eagle and just stealth everything. Plan it all out. Just stealth everything.
No stealth. Just boom, you get a kick. And boom, you get a kick.
And then mercs come after you, but it's all good because you can take them
you
out.
Kick them. That's the only way
I know,
really
kick them too.
Down.
Yeah. Now the thing I actually really enjoyed about this game so far is that the side quests are really fleshed out, and the ripple effect is pretty legitimate. Like things that you just think, oh, well, this little side quest won't matter. The choice I make here won't matter. It's like entire countries are affected by the choices you've made. Yeah. And so I like the fact that choices actually do seem to matter, even though the dialogue options don't really seem very fleshed out. The criticism I have for the world, I guess you could say, is, well, more or less the story, the narrative, if you will, is that the main quest line seems to flesh out the characters less than the side quests. Like, it seems to be all about the side quests, which is why, to Dan's point, like, the exploration and doing things that way, so much better. Such a better experience overall than just, hey, let me turn this indicator on. Let's go be Witcher full tilt. This is my icon. Let's go this way and do all the things that they want me to do. So there are positives to this game. there are just a lot of negatives for me, and it hit me in the bad taste right in the beginning with the monetization. It sucks. It's dumb. I can't believe you have 7 tabs. It looks like Warframe. 7 tabs worth of crap you can buy. Oh, I feel like this needs to be a video. Sorry. I hate when games are badly monetized, especially when a game is that expensive to begin with, and I get hammered on for buying the standard edition. Like I don't know, it's like showing up at the cash register with the store brand loaf of bread instead of buying the artisan, like, seeded loaf that...
Yeah, but have you tried that artisan seeded loaf? That shit's so
yeah,
good.
I bet.
Tabs of different
So
bread,
good.
single slices. You're like, about this? Do you want to try this? 200 Helix credits for bread.
Right? I'm just like... Ugh. So stuff like that makes me angry. The performance issues that I've suffered, anytime there's a cutscene, FPS just tanks all the way. Windows 10 optimization, turn that crap off. That's for every game literally these days on Windows 10. 25 frames per second during a cutscene. That should not be happening. Game has some issues with, I think it's actually the cloud effects are probably the biggest offender in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, if I'm honest, because even turning them down just a little bit actually got me back up to 60 and it stabilized a bit. But I just couldn't believe, like,
Did it look noticeably
25.
Did it look noticeably different when you changed?
Yeah, I stutter. I mean, I would say that most people probably would not notice. If you turned your cloud effects down a little bit enough to stabilize your frame rate, I don't actually think a lot of people would notice. But I would notice because I like games to be pretty.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah, so that's just me.
I put it down to medium and then forgot for a stream and then totally forgot and kept playing. I was like, oh, this looks fine. I don't care.
Yeah. Again, some people
I'm a
might
horrible
not care. When you're running when you're riding your horse and you're riding full speed, you can tell that the draw distance is impacted as well. So again, that's another issue that really shouldn't be happening, but it is. It's like I wish the horse would actually move faster because, again, the world is huge. It's super vast. Obviously, fast travel is the way they want you to get around, but I'm still like my Witcher vibes, and I like riding my horse around. You know, it's like, Roach, why? But
I've been walking around. I ain't touched a horse. I keep forgetting I even got a horse. I'm an eagle. I like to stand every now and then and wait, and the eagle lands. I'm like, yes, we will walk now.
yeah.
And then I get in a boat and blow some sharks up.
But at the fastest
whales,
speed, the whales. At the fastest speed, you can tell it has issues with rendering. So I'm just like,
It is a big game, though.
It's
Like
a-
you see,
yeah,
when
I
you get really
know,
high, you're like,
I
oh,
know.
it's the world. I can go anywhere.
oh yeah. But I mean, and I know if I took these complaints to Ubisoft and be like, hey, so you guys might want to optimize, they're probably just like, well, you need to be playing at blah, blah, blah settings. It's like, this is an i7. I have the most updated NVIDIA card possible. There is no way that this should be running the way it is. But I'm
Yeah,
not.
but then they'll look over me and be like, he's running it fine. I'm like, I'm on an i9. I'm that guy.
Yeah, but what they want me to do is, oh, you must have just bought the standard edition. What you need to
You
do
don't
is
get
go
the
get some
frames.
Totino's pizza rolls at Walmart, and then you can get a boost in your frame
Yeah.
rate.
Yeah,
Well,
I
what if
spent my
it did
Helix
that?
crystals on frames. That's what I've done. It's a good thing to do.
But what if you bought those Totinos and it did work better?
Then I'd have Totino's and a better running game.
Yeah, so think about that next time. Positivity.
I think Jesse just wants some pizza rolls right now.
Man, have you ever had Tostino's pizza rolls when you're really
I have
hungry?
not. Ever
Oh,
had.
they're not good, but they will burn you the roof of your mouth so fast. Oh, great.
I didn't even know that campaign was a thing, except, I went to Walmart and I saw these like teenagers, and literally all that was in their cart
These
was
teenagers.
12 things of pizza rolls. And I was just like, I don't understand. Like, why are there that many teenagers in a row? And that's all that's in their cart. And I'm just talking it up to like, oh, they're just teenagers. But then I see the Assassin's Creed stuff on there, and I'm like, oh no, this is Shadows of Mordor again. They did that campaign with them like last year. And I was just like, oh, sweet baby Jesus, no.
Hey guys, remember to subscribe with Twitch Prime to get your Assassin's Creed official decorations for your ship. I think that's genuinely currently a thing that's running as well. So yeah, basically, anything you actually buy in America it actually gives you something in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. They've actually got something with every single name brand in the world. It's true. Go to a McDonald's and you'll get like a new sword. I went to a Chuck E. Cheese and I was stabbed. Any way you want to go. Toys R Us doesn't exist anymore, but try, every single place.
They've reversed their bankruptcy, actually.
What? Yeah,
Whoa.
Toys R Us coming back.
Toys R Us coming back.
Oh, snap.
Can't keep that giraffe down. Jeffrey number one.
Jeffrey number one.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's coming back. Because the kids need a place to be kids. Jeffrey don't want to grow up.
Now I have the song stuck in my head. No.
There's a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with, from bikes to trains to video
games. What? When was the last time you saw Toys R Us selling video games? Let me ask you that.
The biggest toy store there is.
Except that it's small and in a mall near you.
In a long time.
We got the big Toys R Us in the UK, and when they was all closing down, we were in there, and they were legitimately selling Sega Mega Drive games. That they've had in the backstop for so long. It was just like
amazing. Yeah.
It's just like, well, that all gets all them. I wonder why it was like full price as well when it shut down.
I was very much considering they had a online thing where they had an auction of the Toys R Us actual offices, the corporate offices of Toys R Us, and they had some weird ass shit in there that I was like, maybe I want something.
I want a giant backwards R for my wall.
Yeah.
Some of that shit is just like, maybe I do want some of this weird ass shit they have. Yeah, I would have. If I was a billionaire, I would have bought some weird ass shit and made my own Toys R Us. Yep.
That's your goals in life.
So you can have your coffee shop right next to your Toys R Us. And
that's my plan.
You can do all your presentations in advance for the meetings that you will have. That'd be great. Yeah. I like it. This episode of the Co-optional Podcast is sponsored by Audible.
Oh, shit. Hell yeah.
Say pizza rolls. It's sponsored by pizza rolls.
I was going to say next week.
And also Audible.
Next week, it'll probably be sponsored by Totina's Pizza Rolls. Play Assassin's Creed Odyssey today. Blah, blah, blah.
Great. I'd take those.
I'd take some Totinas.
I'll have the DLC, thanks.
XP boosters, so that way I don't have to spend so much time playing a game that I want to rage at for frame rate performance issues.
Wait, you know what's weird? You can get those XP boosters through because when you get trophies, you get the Uplay credits. You can actually buy the XP boosters through there as well.
Yeah, you can buy them in the shop.
Wait, why are they there? That's not a place they need to be. Anyway,
Ubisoft, what?
Are we talking about things now?
Yes. So let's talk about
books.
Let's talk about some...
No. Sorry, boss. It was surprising. I was going.
Yeah. Thank you for taking the feedback.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
So yeah, this episode of the Co-optional Podcast is sponsored by Audible. You can go to audible.com/cynical, CYNICAL, to get your first audiobook for free. Let's see, what audiobooks do you guys want to recommend? I know we have some selections. Jesse, do you want to start?
Yo, I definitely do, because it's so on topic of what we've been talking about.
It is, and that's why.
Yeah. So usually I come in here and I say Star Wars. Yes, there are plenty of Star Wars books on there. You should definitely get them because they're super fun to listen to. But this time, I have a book that's called The Song of Achilles. And it literally is just a retelling of all of the great Iliad / if you ever saw the movie Troy, or it's basically Achilles and Helen of Troy and that whole thing. Except it's told from the perspective of a young man who does not fit in with these people at all and is befriends Achilles and is along for the ride. And I'm not going to spoil some things about it, but besides the main story that everyone sort of knows, there's a side story that is very, very sweet. And so it's very, very cool. The narrator is fantastic and has a delightful British, possibly fake British, I don't know, accent. And yeah. It is very cool. It's called The Song of Achilles, and it is Madeline Miller wrote this book. You can get it right now. It's about 11 hours long. I'm about halfway through it.
Very cool. All right, let's see. I was actually looking for SMS link as well, the SMS code. So if you SMS 500-500, again, Cynical, CYNICAL, start your free 30-day trial and, of course, get your first audio selection for free. Brooke, you have a suggestion as well. Lay it on us.
I didn't realize that the audiobook of The Disaster Artist is read by Greg Sestero, who is the dude in The Disaster Artist. Disaster Artist, My Life Inside the Room, the greatest bad movie ever made. Any of you who saw the Disaster Artist movie, this is the book that it was based off of, which is basically Greg Sestero's like memoir about the experience of meeting Tommy Wiseau and like making The Room. And yeah, he's the dude who reads the whole thing. So if you would like to listen to that,
it's so good. It's so good.
I've heard that he like, there are a couple like little moments where he goes kind of off script, which I think good shit.
I will suggest, if you really want the best possible like The Room experience, here's my tips for you. 1, watch The Room. 2, after that, listen to the How Did This Get Made podcast episode on The Room, where Tommy comes, or the author of the book comes on.
Greg Sestero,
and comes on and talks about, I should write a book, then listen to the book, then go watch the movie, and you will get the complete like, oh my god, how did any of this happen? And it will blow your mind. It's so good. That's my 4 suggestions. Take a week and just do that. It will like blow your mind. Yes. Yeah.
I thought the movie was like so perfectly uncomfortable. Like the movie was done so well in a way where you literally were just like, what the fuck?
But you feel for Tommy Wiseau, because it's just like, he's just like an old weirdo who just wants to like be loved so badly and make it in an industry. But there's so many weird things you don't know. Like, where's he from? How does he have his money? What, like, it's a mystery, but it's like he's not like an evil creep. He's just like a creep. He's just a creep.
Just a fucking weirdo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird, man. Yeah. The movie was crazy. So yeah, you can listen from the mouth of babes, Disaster Artist on Audible.
Yep. Yay. So thanks again, Audible, for sponsoring this episode of the Co-optional Podcast. Again, audible.com/.
Oh, you know what?
Oh, yeah.
Before I'm going to give another recommendation, because even though Song of Achilles is great, there's another thing that I have on my phone that I used last night. I'm going to say it. So they've been doing these Aptiv things on there. And there's one called Sleep Better. And literally it's 12, I think like 12-minute programs or something like that. And literally it's like you listen to a different one each night, and it like helps you get to sleep better. And they're awesome. They are awesome. Yeah.
Didn't you have an Aptiv one for us, like the last integration?
Yes, because they had
several of them, don't they?
They have workout ones that it's like a person who, it doesn't matter what you do. It's like a 5K workout program, but you can like run 5K on a treadmill or up a mountain or whatever. But like the voice is like, you can fucking do this. You got this.
Amazing.
The background's like, run your fucking ass. You're like, yeah, it works. And they have one for sleep, and the sleep one is like really soothing music. And it's this woman named Jade who's just like, today I'm going to teach you about relaxation. She's like, lay down with your arms at your side, but if that's not a comfortable position, lay however you feel like laying. I'm like, thank you, Jade.
Fucking Jade.
Enabler. Nice.
Yeah, just like, lay however you want to lay. And I was like, yes, perfect.
I will.
It's like, I feel permission now. That's great. I love that. All right.
Oh, that's right. The Aptiv stuff is. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. Go ahead.
The Aptiv stuff is like a separate bubble inside of Audible, right?
Right. I believe.
Yeah.
So.
If you go on the app right now, it's at the very, very top.
Can you use?
If it is a trial thing that I think lasts until next September.
Interesting.
And I don't know if they're going to continue it after that. I have no clue what the ins and outs of it are, but I know that it's a trial thing, and if you have Audible, you get it, and it's like free. And so you can just like download it free and just sit there and be like, take me away on relaxation. It's great.
Oh, yeah. Member price, $0. Fuck yes.
$0, totally free.
Love it.
Cool.
Yep. Awesome. Well, thank you again, Audible, for sponsoring this episode of the Co-optional Podcast. Audible.com/cynical, CYNICAL, or SMS the word cynical, again, CYNICAL, to 500-500. Sign up and get your free 30-day trial and your first audiobook for free. And you can obviously listen to some of those amazing choices or recommendations. And of course, the Aptiv stuff, that keeps coming back. So definitely check that out. $0, 0 cents for members. Heck yeah. So that has been our sponsorship segment. And do you guys need to take a break, or do we want to power on and talk about some more games?
I mean, I'm good. It's up to y'all's.
No, I'm good. Let's do it. All right. What have you guys been playing now that I've kind of sort of done with my Odyssey rant a little bit?
I've been messing around with the Magic the Gathering arena.
I saw that. I think I read about that on your Twitter.
Yeah. So a lot of people who have like tried playing Magic the Gathering online, which is like their old client, it was just like a garbage heap, like a total mess. And so Magic the Gathering Arena is now in open beta, so they're letting literally, and it's not like a big process at all. You just like go over there, you download it, and then it's like, do you want to register? Put in an email. Sick. Play some Magic the Gathering, right? It's super easy. At first, when I started playing with it, like some things about it look so nice, and some things about the UI felt like a little muddy to me. The more that I play it, the clearer it is. And also Sam is like an old Magic the Gathering fanatic. So anything where I was like, I don't understand what this is trying to tell me, he was able to explain to me, which helped. I think that the tutorial is like a little clunky. And the way that it tries to explain resolutions to you is really clunky. Like when you're playing, the other person will do something and then a resolve button will pop up for you. And sometimes it's not, at least for me, it's not super obvious. And then a timer starts and I'm like, wait, is that timer for me? Wait, is it waiting for me to click something? It's his turn. Wait, what the fuck is going on, right? There are some things that they haven't totally made clear to a newer player.
It's because I think that's the inherent problem with Magic because of games like Hearthstone, where Hearthstone's made it like simplified everything. So when Magic happens and you can like do stuff during another person's turn, it's like, wait, what? Huh? What? I thought it was just waiting. And that, I think Hearthstone really screwed with people's heads because that became so popular that if you aren't like down with what Magic is about, you sort of miss out on all the things you can do during when it's not even your turn to play.
Right. Positives, it starts you off with a bunch of pre-made decks that are actually like really easy. They're really easy to use. They're not super complex. As you play and like level up inside of the system, it'll give you more pre-made decks. So like, because I played a certain number of times and hit like a different level or unlocked enough stuff, it was like, hey, here's an entire deck that's all merfolk, right? And I was like, oh, sick, that's cool, right? And all of the decks, they feel very easy to use. So that's really nice for a newer player, I think, because you don't feel as much pressure to go into the deck builder and be like, I don't know. Another positive that I will say about the deck builder now that I've messed with it a lot more is it doesn't make you figure out how much land to take. It'll automatically do that unless you don't want it to. So say that I was like, I want a Golgari deck, right? Like I want to grab a bunch of black cards and a bunch of green cards and just like see what happens. Depending on the ratio of black cards to green cards that you have in there, it'll be like, cool, I'm going to fill out the rest of the deck with this much land. And it'll give you like ratios, like there are like different meters that you can click on and it'll be like, okay, your deck right now is this much land, this much creature, this much like enchantments, so that you have kind of an idea of the ratios. And they actually have a good search system in there where you can say, you know what, I need black 2-cost cards that I already own. You can like specify all of this stuff and then it'll show you whatever you have. But it does have a system like in Hearthstone and like I think a lot of like online card games now where it's like you get sort of a currency like dust, right? You get sort of a currency that you can use to make other cards that you don't have in case there's a specific card that you really want. it does give you that option inside of the system as well. But yeah, so the more that I play with it, the more that it's like getting clearer. I would say still the big thing that I had a problem with, and it's still, I think, a big problem, is if you open up a pack, with the in-game currency, it's like, here's all of the cards that were in that pack. And you're like, cool. But then once you go into the deck builder, it has no way of saying it, like, none of the cards that you just got are denoted in any way.
Oh,
so I would have to
not like
memorize
lit
which
up or
cards I
anything.
just got.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
Yeah, I think that's like a big detriment. But apparently a lot of people have said that, so it's something that they're working on. And I think they're just, for somebody who played kind of a limited amount of Magic the Gathering throughout my life, the way that the system is working when you play is sometimes still confusing to me even after the tutorial, which makes me feel like the tutorial was a little bit muddier than it should have been. But overall, like, it plays nice. I like that it gives you a lot of decks to choose from and mess around with. And I think that it's like leagues above and beyond what Magic the Gathering Online was. So they're on the right track, like, for sure. So.
I think they're putting a lot of money into it. Did you see the initial announcement with Danny Trejo?
No, I didn't. What?
Yeah. So there was when the beta first came out for it, Danny Trejo did like some sort of appearance. I'm going to see if I can find the video so I could put it on here. But I just thought it was like Danny Trejo's I'm like, what?
Weird.
Why? That was a thing. Oh yeah, here it is. The open beta announcement trailer.
Dude got a funny sense of humor. I believe it.
Yeah. Actually has Sean Day9 Plot in it as well. But Danny Trejo shows up with a bowl of like tricks or something. Yeah, so that should be on screen for you guys now. But he's like in a bathrobe, and I'm like, Danny Trejo out of nowhere, like Magic the Gathering. What? I didn't know what to. The reaction was just, yeah.
I don't know what they're saying, but I like just pretending I know.
I know. I could probably try and pipe it in, actually.
Nah, it's fine.
Are you sure?
It's good this way.
I don't know. I kind of want to know what. Hold on. I'm gonna make this happen. Copyright strikes be danged. I'm gonna try this. We're gonna see if this works.
All hands, brace!
On the fly. Here we go. Let's react to this, you guys. It's reaction channel now.
Oh my gosh.
You have to play your Land of War Elves first turn. Because then you can play your Growth from the Ashes second turn. And have ramped up to playing your Gigantosaurus on turn 3.
Danny, I know.
Dude.
Go ahead and play it. The elves are the right play. Do you ever read your cards? Throw that one down. Draw out his counterspell.
I'm doing it.
Let me get in there.
No.
Just go, Holmes. It's over. Day 9 gets defeated.
Oh man, I could just replay that part of this video all the time, and that'd be great.
Countdown, tick, tick, tock.
Yeah, so that's a thing. Danny Trejo laughing at day 9. That's
He's great.
everything I never knew I wanted. Love it. But yeah, so I remember seeing that, and I was just like, obviously they must be throwing some weight behind it. So I'm hoping that they do make improvements, like little quality of life improvements can go a long way with a game like that. So here's hoping.
Yeah. The other game that I sunk some time into is Mana Spark. It's like a newer dungeon crawler. The concept of it is that like across the earth, humans are the only species that can't use mana. So like everything else on earth like is able to utilize magic. And so humans have been sort of like forced into subservience. And all of the different like human communities will have like basically like roving demons or whatever the fuck will show up and just like kill a bunch of people. But suddenly they start taking people instead of killing them. And people from these towns are like, oh, well, fuck that. We're just going to chase after them and get our people back, right? Like we have to fight back. If they're not, like they didn't kill them, they took them somewhere. So we got to go get them. So the whole concept of it is that you're like one of these warriors from one of these towns where people have vanished, and you start like trying to chase after these creatures that took other villagers. It's pretty fun. It's one of those, like, aiming is important, so it's one of those rare dungeon crawlers where it's better with mouse and
Archery.
keyboard.
Hey.
Yeah.
Nice.
And yeah, it's pretty fun. Like, I've only been able to unlock one class, and I thought, because the first like new class that you unlock is right after you beat the first boss. And so I was like, oh, with each boss, you'll probably unlock another class. And I know the first two classes that you have are ranged. It's like a bowman and then a crossbow girl. And I know that there's a melee guy because there's a melee guy in the intro of the game. So I'm like, okay, eventually you get like other like close range combat classes, right?
Sure.
But I beat the second boss and there was nobody there to unlock. So I was like, how long do I have to play this to unlock another person? God damn. Yeah, so that's like a little bit, I was excited to unlock a new class to play and it wasn't there. But overall, like the way that the game plays is super straightforward. It's literally just like, here's a dungeon. You've got a map. Go to all the rooms. Unlock the stairs. Go down the stairs. New dungeon. There's a map. Walk around. Kill the monster. Right? Like it's that. But I love games like that. So that's exactly what I was looking for. It does have some progressive elements inside of it that persist along with you through time. Yeah, exactly. So there's like, I think what people are seeing on the screen right now anyway is sort of like a hub area, and that slowly fills up with people, and there's like a chef, and you can unlock different meals that you like take with you, and those are passive buffs that you have each time that you play. And you can there's a person who specializes in like items, is like a blacksmith, and you can say like, I want to, every time I go into the dungeon, I want to start with this item, and you can level it up. And as you're in the dungeon, you can find other items. And then the idea is that like you bring that idea back to the blacksmith, and then the blacksmith can be like, oh, fuck, I can make that. Right. But there's a currency inside of the dungeon. Like when you kill these things, you get kind of like a mana stone essentially.
Right.
And you have to get enough of those in order to unlock stuff. So, yeah, but it's a super straightforward dungeon crawler.
I'm just seeing like so many arrows to the eye for that like skeleton, and he's just like, no, I'm still coming at you.
Oh yeah.
What?
Those skeletons suck, man.
Yeah, I am not a fan. So go back to the spiders. That's fine.
Yeah. Oh, there's also one of the other people that you can get in your town is like a researcher. And so you can, if you want, if there's like a specific type of enemy that gives you a lot of trouble, you can go to the researcher and say like, I want to know the weakness of this thing. And you can, every time you go in, you can have like one creature selected. As long as you've unlocked the research for that creature, you can have that creature selected, and they'll basically be like weak when you get in there, and it'll take less damage to down them, which is kind of cool. I haven't like utilized that very much, but yeah.
Nice.
It was pretty fun.
Looks interesting.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Jesse.
No, I'm just looking at it now. Like it looks like a fascinating game. Can I ask you a question about like, do you think on a personal level that this would burn me out, this game? Like, is it like like struggle wise? Is it a game that you can like sit down and just play and like, yeah, all right, I get this, and like I'm gonna experience the story to it, and like, or is it like you have to grind your butt off to get to?
Is it Dark Souls?
For you, I think that you'll get annoyed with how little story is involved in the game.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. The story is like a loose framework for why you're dungeon crawling, but it doesn't come up often. You can, there is a lot of lore in the game. Like the researcher has a list of all of the books that you can find, and every time you see a bookshelf, you can search through it to see if there's like a letter or a book that you haven't read before, and it'll have information that sort of starts to help you understand like why people were taken and what they're doing here and like that sort of stuff. And that's actually like pretty cool. But overall, like, it's not like you beat the first boss and then it's like, here's an info dump, right? You don't get anything like that. It's like a pretty straightforward, like, you beat a boss, cool, keep going, my dude, you know. So maybe it just takes a while before they give you more information about the story. But I haven't reached a point beyond the very beginning where they've been like, here's what's going on now, you know, or you're actually making some kind of a difference. At this point, it doesn't feel like you're making any kind of a difference.
All right. Yeah, that's all I want to know. Because that's, that will bug me. I'm like, why am I doing any of this?
Yeah.
Because the premise seems cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. I've been playing a game that I kind of am really ashamed to be playing.
Is it a mobile game?
You can talk about Assassin's Creed Odyssey again.
No.
Is it the Final Fantasy
I was gonna say,
city builder game?
It's how I feel about how you probably feel about A New Empire, about Final Fantasy XV.
Perfect.
Games where you have, obviously free to play, but pay to win gacha games that you probably have no business playing, but for some reason get sucked into playing anyway just because stuff looks cute and anime weeb trash.
Speaking of anime weeb trash, I got a game.
Oh, God.
Let Genna finish.
After this.
I know. I just reminding myself.
So this game is called Food Fantasy. It is on iOS and Android. It is literally food-inspired characters. It's actually done by a Chinese game company called Elix, I think. The thing that got me into this is I was on that stupid section of the App Store where things are recommended to you that you should just ignore on all counts, but I couldn't help it. I was like, all these really cute anime characters, they're all named after food. I like food. They're anime. I like anime.
Classic.
And there's one named Coffee, and I'm like, I like coffee, and
oh look, and they're all handsome anime boys.
Well, not all of them. Some of them are girls.
Who's Crepe? Can we
look at all these be shonen?
I don't know why I think that you can like go back up. I'm like, hold on, who's Crepe? Can we go back to Crepe?
Crepe's cute, but she's actually kind of worthless.
What about Milk?
Soul. Milk stays with you almost. So it works on a star progression system. So you start with like M characters, and it goes all the way to S characters, and you are souls. Yeah. Go ahead.
Time out. You're playing a video, right?
Yeah, I am. I can go back.
Rewind a little bit to the overworld map. Go back to the overworld map for a minute.
Okay, hold on. Let me get there.
Let's take a minute and look at this world.
They're all fighting.
This is just one section of the world.
It looks very cute. Yeah, but let's go back to this overworld thing because it's terrifying.
Yeah. Okay.
So that one's fine. Go to the one that was sort of blurred out.
Yeah, sorry. That's that's actually the combat map. Hold on. Yeah, this right here is this what you're talking about right here? This is this is the combat map.
It's catching up to it on the screen.
Yeah.
Literally, there is some like effed up shit for people named Coffee and Milk and Crepe. There is like an old god and a tentacle.
Yeah, you're right. What the
and
fuck
like
is
an
that
eyeball
thing?
Nurse and like shit is crazy.
I know, and this is just the stage. So inside the map, which we were previously looking at, this is like what your combat stages look like. So 3-1 is a combat stage, 3-2, 3-3. These are all different combat stages. Yeah. So
terrifying. That's
I know.
Named, like Kit Kat bar, shit be crazy in their life. Shit is crazy.
And different souls actually synergize with other souls, and of course it's gacha as well. So you have to like summon and roll for these characters. But certain things like make sense. Like Milk actually goes with a soul called Black Tea, and together they have like an ability, which is now showing. They're showing at the bottom of the screen. So this is like what the combat looks like. So you have a team of 5.
Is that load screen featuring a girl getting high on what I assume is hashish? Is that what's happening? Is that what that load screen featured?
Totally.
Because she was in it like some sort of den, a drug den.
Yeah. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Which one of these characters is the pizza rolls?
I know, right? There is actually a
that
food soul
little
called
asshole with
pizza.
the boxing gloves is the pizza.
Yes,
Yeah,
Totino's,
the-
my favorite.
the
My favorite.
kid with
Assassin's Creed logo on them.
The kid with the boxing gloves is actually Tom Yum. Crepe is the girl that had the short orange hair, red hair. Milk is the one that looks like
At the
she's
bottom,
wearing
like
a
a
cow.
cow.
Yeah.
Right.
And the one up at the top is milk tea. So milk tea and black tea, I apologize, and milk
Black
go
tea
together.
have guns.
Because she's an assassin, and that's the whole thing. Each character has like its own
You said that so matter of
backstory.
fact, because she's an assassin. You fucking idiot.
Right? No,
Obviously.
they all have their own backstory. So you like feed them certain food that they like. They have a certain food that they want, and if you feed it to them every day, that you unlock fondness, and they'll get new voice tracks for when you tap on them or when you use them in combat. It also increases their stats and HP and strength and everything.
Who are these eyeball nurses? Why do they exist?
There are some really weird characters in
The
here.
nurse will see you now.
No,
Yeah.
that girl in the back literally has a hash pipe. And it's just like, that is her. She is. Look at her. This is
Yeah,
crazy.
it's nuts. It's all very stylized and stuff. And it's me. I'm ashamed to be playing it, but I've been playing it like every day for maybe like 2 months. I have my own guild in this game.
Amazing. I'll join.
Right. So like shout out if you are playing this game or want to play this game, sign up on the Light Kingdom server and join my guild called Forsaken, which
Light Kingdom. Nah, none of that.
is number 5630. That is how you find my guild and join my
They're all
guild.
getting high. Every single one of that image was just getting high.
I think you have to get high in order to play this game continuously and
Although
like,
I love this mimic. I
There-
love this mimic so much.
Looks so
Japanese
happy.
some of them actually have horns on them too, which I think those are the cutest ones, and they have like a
I
bowl
like his
right
wiggle
through their
little
nose.
his little fork going like wiggle 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 what? Oh wiggle 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 what?
And they all have like their own animations. There's probably like over 50 food souls, and they're all all named after food. My current team, it's like it sounds horrible because like you're saying like food names literally. Let's see, Milt, which I believe is fish sperm, I think, but it's a Chinese game, so they can add what they want. Milt, M-I-L-T.
Nothing like a healthy spoon of fish sperm.
Right? Milt is my healer.
Don't ever get milk
at the
and
moment.
Milt confused.
No, they are two different souls. That's for sure.
Day.
Milt.
This cereal
No,
tastes
male
really
fish,
funny. I don't know what's wrong with it.
My
For some reason,
yeah.
I poured in a lot of Milt and it just didn't taste right.
So yeah, Milt and Bonito Rice, I think, is my defense soul, and I have
That is
3 magic
actually- that's
souls.
incredible.
Peking Duck is one of my magic food souls that I'm teamed with right now. And what are my 2 other ones? Oh, they have drinks in here. So Vodka is on my team. Yes.
Yo.
And she's actually really pretty, and she has like a Russian accent and everything. They try to go very much with the theme of the food, so they all have very
I'm looking at
stereotypical.
vodka right now. Let's see what vodka looks like.
Vodka's pretty.
Milt,
She's
why
super
am I
pretty.
doing this?
And there's the other one. What is the other one? Foie gras is a food soul, and she looks like a mix between a duck and a goose because foie gras is.
Oh, I like tiramisu. She's a sweetie
Yeah.
pie. Oh, vodka looks.
She's
Like a
she's
stuck
bae.
up beef.
She's bae. I love
Vodka.
her.
Oh, vodka looks like she has got a vodka glass up her boot.
Okay, so the part that we're getting to now in the video that I'm showing on screen is the restaurant management part. So basically, you are
Whoa,
the.
but
What do they eat when they're all named after food?
They're all they're
There
all
are
named after food.
cannibalism in this one.
So the other part of this game is it's a restaurant management sim. So you are a master attendant, or basically you oversee the restaurant, and so your job is to hire these food souls as staff or chefs, and they cook food. So it's kind of weird because they're cooking dishes. So food souls named after food, so it's food personalized, but yet they're responsible for making food dishes, which is kind of weird.
Weird, yeah.
Just a little bit weird.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
There's a character named B-52.
He is amazing. Yeah, and he is literally, he looks like a B-52 shooter. He's amazing.
There's a character named Brownie who has a rocket launcher.
Yeah, they have synergy together. It's crazy. I know. And some of the food souls have backstories that are relationship related, but you don't really know it until you unlock them through a certain fondness.
Can I just
And you read the
say for the
backstories.
record,
Yeah, go ahead.
Chocolate looks like he is about to like give you the dick. Chocolate looks amazing in this game.
He does.
Chocolate literally says roses and is like, "What up, lady?" Chocolate.
He has the voice to match. He has the voice to match.
Chocolate's gonna get some. I'm letting you know. Chocolate coming out like, "What up, ladies?" Damn. Bamboo Rice is just like a naked guy with green hair.
Bamboo Rice might as well be Goku with green hair. It's very true.
Get the fuck out. Can I just tell you right now? Spicy Gluten is the name of a character.
Yeah.
Spicy Gluten is a red with a whip, and I've never wanted Gluten to kill me more.
The funny
What
part
is
is
happening?
with this game being from a Chinese developer, some words are actually censored. There's like a global chat that's set up. And so when you actually mention spicy gluten, when you're talking about the food soul in the game in chat, it actually censors out spicy for some reason. It also censors out vanilla for some reason in the chat. We have issues figuring some of these things out. But yeah, so it's a Chinese game that for some reason or another I've been playing every day on my iPad. There are many levels of it. It is free to play. It is gacha, very much so. So it is kind of pay to win in a way, but you don't really have to ever spend, like, I don't feel like you miss out on anything really by not spending anything, because
like
there's so much to do. Yeah, there's dungeon crawling, there's missions that happen every day, so you can obtain the currency to unlock things if you wanted to. There's the restaurant sim side of it. There's a skill tree, so you have powers and things. You make dishes, you make deliveries. There's a lot in this game. Again, I am totally ashamed that I even play it because it seems like the stupidest thing in the world. But for some reason, I'm still playing it a couple weeks on, so I'm like, I'm going to at least tell people about it in case they want to play something mindless and ridiculous, but has cute art. And I like the fact that food souls can be people.
I found a Facebook video, which is all sorts of weird. I found a Facebook video where the voice of tiramisu,
Yeah.
does the introduction for Food Fantasy Spicy Gluten. And it literally is like one of those videos when you see like League of Legends when they introduce a new character. She's trying to explain all the combos and synergies, but it's like this very sweet voice. And then it goes from sexy tiramisu to like this
Spicy
chibi
Gluten's
character.
really...
Oh, yeah. It's like Spicy Gluten to like this little chibi character. And you're like, all right, I guess she's fighting a Cthulhu girl now, like some tentacle beast, but all right, sure.
So,
Go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, I was gonna like say something adjacent to mobile games, but not specifically about this game.
Go
So
for
if
it.
you wanna-
Go for it. No. I'm
So-
I'm done freaking Jesse out for today.
We're like,
I'm freaked.
I play a lot of shitty mobile games, right? And I hadn't seen this before, but I downloaded a comic app to read a specific comic, and there were a bunch of comics on there where I was like, oh, these all look cool. Like, sure, I'll read a bunch. It's obviously very Korean focused. There's lots of manhwa on there. So I was like, oh, these are a bunch of comics that I've never heard of. I'm just gonna like do a deep dive, right? And it had like an in-app currency in order to unlock and like pay the artists of the comic books. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I was like, but if you don't want to buy the currency, you can just play this other game. And I was like, I don't think I've ever seen that before.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so it's like you can watch a video ad, right, and get like 10 coins, or you can get 8,000 coins if you download this other app and get to this level in it, right? So I was like, sure. Again, I play a lot of shitty games. I don't mind. Yeah, why not? So I've been playing so many terrible fucking games in order to get currency for this comic app. But they all do this. They're in like a sphere. So it was like if you download Pirate Kings and play Pirate Kings until you get to the 4th island, you'll get 8,000 currency. And I was like, that'll buy me a lot of fucking comic chapters. Hell yeah, right? So I spent like a few days playing Pirate Kings. And inside of Pirate Kings, there is also a currency. And it was like, you can watch an ad or you can download this other game and get to this point in order to get currency for Pirate Kings. And I was like, what the fuck? How deep does this shit go?
You're
Inception.
inceptioning yourself. That's what you're doing. You're just going
To my
dream
credit,
within a dream within a dream within a dream. Do you remember where you were originally?
I don't. To my credit, I didn't like go to the third level. Right? I didn't go to another game in order to get currency for the second game. And the second that I got the currency for the comic app, I deleted the game. Right. But now I'm onto a couple of other games that are equally just fucking terrible, and I'm so conflicted. I'm like, God damn it! Everybody who's playing this game, like some of them make you join like a guild or something.
Oh yeah,
And
that's how they
literally
get you.
one of the games that I'm playing is that goddamn Final Fantasy 15
XP.
new Empire game that is so bad. It's It's so I hate it. And everybody in the guild is like, the only reason that I'm playing this game is to get currency for my like dating sim app. And I'm like, I feel you. I'm trying to get currency for a comic book app. Like everybody knows nobody is there like because they want to be. And I'm like, this works. It's working. Like it's crazy.
So people are now making video games just to be currency fodder for other video games.
Yeah.
Or
I've seen that with
games
some
are being
things,
made
yeah.
and they're like, nobody's playing my game, but if I become part of this like fucking pyramid scheme, then the apps that are doing well will make other people play my game in order to have currency for the app that they actually want to be playing, and so my analytics will be better than they were before. It's nuts. Shit's crazy.
It's a solid strategy. Enablers, a lot of them.
I hate to admit this, but I've actually been playing a gacha game on mobile phone.
What is the matter with you all? Stop it!
You can't even, Jesse.
Oh, damn Dragon Ball Legends.
Dragon Ball Legends.
I have no games on my phone right now. Not a one. Not a single.
This is the only one I've let myself. I'm actually, because I'm like, I want to buy all the things. I've deleted Google Pay. I have no way of buying anything on my phone ever again because I'm in so fucking deep in this. I've got like a rope timer I waste every time I'm playing. I'm like, just pull me out if I get too far. Just please, just.
Right.
I didn't go with a buddy. It's like scuba diving. I can't do it alone anymore. But it's a free-to-play gacha piece of crap. However, it is actually one of the best fighting games I've ever played. Which surprised, especially when I'm getting to sort of the high levels. So you get your characters and all your kind of crap like that. But it's such a simplified fighting. Like, I really suck at fighting games, and it's such a simplified fighting game that I love it. I absolutely love it because it's just your touchscreen controls your movements. You got left, right, close, further back. If you tap it and you're close, you start doing punches. If you tap it and you're far away, you do a beam. But you're dealt like random cards. There's 4 different types. There's like your big special moves, your special abilities, lots of key blasts, or lots of punching. And because you're so limited with how much you can do, you're constantly thinking about what your opponent's got. And in the high level games, it's like bloody like really fast chess. It's like this. No, you'll do this. You can like dodge a time, and it's great. It's stupidly great. I hate that I like it. I hate that I like it. But I level 93. It's good. It's terrible, but it's good. But it's terrible. I
have also thought about disconnecting any payment processes from my phone.
Yeah.
I don't even like pay for things that often, but when I look at my credit card and it's like, you spent this much on iTunes, I'm like,
I could have bought a real game.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
Could have bought a Ubisoft game.
No,
it's just like nickel and diming me to death. I just need to stop.
I don't know if I've mentioned it. Have I talked about Homo Machina on this podcast yet?
I don't think
can't
so.
Remember. Okay, so this is the other iOS game, and then I'll stop talking about iOS games, I swear. But Homo Machina is an iOS game that it's a puzzle game, and it's based on the art stylings and the avant-garde scientist Fritz Kahn. So it's kind of like a 1920s factory, basically. And you are scientists inside this human's body, and it kind of teaches you how different parts of the body and different systems of the body work in a puzzle environment. I know that sounds really weird.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna like try and play the trailer.
I feel
here.
like Jesse tried to Google this game and wound up in a different place.
So yeah, because of the illustrations, like the art style is actually what grabbed me into this game initially. You'll get notifications like, oh, this guy is waking up. We need to start this part of his body. We need to get like his hunger feelings working. We need to get, his brain working. And so it has different puzzles to try and teach you about how different parts of the body work. But it is sort of made for teens and adults, I feel. Like the puzzle aspect of it is really cool, if I'm honest. And all the parts of the body, of course, work together. Yeah, I really liked it from the art style, from the word go. I was like, as soon as I saw the art, I'm like, click, buy. So yeah, it's been a nice little time sink to have on my iPad when I'm not crazy busy. But yeah, so.
Jesse,
what did you Google?
Nothing. You don't want to know. I figured out that it's one word instead of two. That's all you need. That's all you need to know. But the game looks great. The game looks very, very clever, and I like the idea that the human body's sort of like a factory, and there's little people running all the machines. I think that's very clever.
Yeah.
So yeah,
thought it was adorable.
It's cute.
Yep.
All right. Anybody want to talk about what
I have been playing a thing. I've been playing several things, but the one I want to talk about is going to be hard to talk about because it's a game called Stage 9, which is been shut down. It was a fan recreation of the Enterprise D in VR in full scale, full size. Every deck, every room, the whole damn thing. Fans are recreating it. And in like the past week, CBS cease and desisted them. Wow. And so I've been playing a lot of it and crying because it's the best. It's the best. You could literally get a shuttle, fly out and sit on one of the nacelles and just see the sheer size of the Enterprise D. And they've added loads of new stuff. So they've got like Deep Space Nine at full size. And you can just see how big these ships were. But it's got like Enterprise D has got an almost like full interior. It's got so much going on in it. And they keep adding and updating it. There's like a non-VR version as well you can go and mess around in. But it is proper. It's just properly... It's like the most loving fan creation I've ever seen. It's so annoying it's been killed, but it is just... It's beautiful. And you turbo lift around all the places, and you get your shuttle, and you crash it a lot. But it's got like rooms that you've never even really seen in the show that they've just built using like all the technical manuals and stuff. So it's like so... You could go and see Picard sitting behind his desk. O'Brien's working the telephone. Jesse Small is just...
I'm looking at a video right now. It's great.
Yeah, it's everything I've ever wanted from Star Trek. But it's just seeing the scale. It's just that having that, especially in VR, having that scale and going, oh, it's bloody huge. It's really, really huge. You can go to warp and you can do everything. You can separate the saucer section and do it from outside in a shuttle and just watch as the saucer section just flies away. And yeah, CBS killed it, so that's a great thing.
Surprising no one, right?
Well, they actually have rules. They're pretty good for letting fan projects happen. They actually have CBS have rules saying like, hey, you can make Star Trek things that are like this, and they have these rules and stuff. So just killing this seems a bit unusual. But it's just, I grew up with that ship, so seeing it in the full scale is just mind blowing. And it was constantly, every single update was just getting better and better. And you could go to loads of, it's not just like the one bridge, you can have whatever bridges you want. It's got all the bits hidden around and loads of secrets and things. And it's a total work of love. And it's been killed.
Yeah, I saw the like list of creators or contributors, and I was surprised like that many people came together to make this. And yet we can't get a decent Star Trek game to save our life. But
no, we can't. Not since Voyager. Elite Force was the stuff. That had virtual Voyager mode, which was a bit like this, where you could, like in the expansion pack, you could walk around Voyager and do little things. But that was only 9 decks, if I remember rightly. Whereas this has just got so much more. And you can open up your shuttle bay and then push the button, and everything gets sucked out. And you're like, bye. Oh, none of that was important. Then you try and fly the shuttles and crash a lot, and you can. It's just beautiful. It's a really beautiful thing.
Sorry, I'm just watching, seeing how like you're right. The scale is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's seen it in VR as well, and just being like, that's what like however many like 2,000 foot long ship actually looks like. Like the one that got me was when I sat on like the nacelle and the engine bit, and I was just like, it's huge. It's just I can't get over like how big this is. And there's nothing like that. And even when they do make it, they'll make it with people and money. And people and money can't make something that is made with the obsession of Star Trek fans.
No.
Which is an unparalleled obsession. Star Trek fans, people who like cartoon horses. That's the two people who just will give you more detail
The Venn
than
diagram.
ever necessary. Yeah. That's just that's just the thing. Oh, look at how it's just beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
It's so beautiful. Yeah, I don't know if they've got they may be doing something a bit like this, but I don't think it'll have the sheer. No, it won't have the love behind it that just built it to that level of detail.
It would
Right.
be,
Because like
it'd be
there's
nice
Bridge
if
Crew, and you can sit in the Enterprise D and Bridge Crew now, which is loads of fun. But you can't walk around 9 forwards.
no.
Yeah, it's about 9 forwards. It's just
It would be nice if they actually, like, I don't know, hired the people who made this to
Would be
make
really
an
nice.
official version, but
yeah, just be
It's
like, hey, have
happening.
some money, make this official. We're going to make this an
Right.
official thing. Because who doesn't want to actually walk around? Especially considering they're doing the non-VR version and the VR version as well.
right.
There's even a secret party mode on the non-VR version. You can press a button and or the bridge lights will just do like loads of crazy colors and stuff.
Like
Very
there's
silly, but very
there's definitely a want, and I
Oh, yeah.
I know again it's among only Star Trek fans, and I get that, but like to basically just do Second Life, but on the Enterprise, like
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Wow. Second Life. That takes me back.
Yeah. With
To
less
just-
less
Yeah.
porn, and more Star Trek.
Yeah, that's the thing that I've been reminiscing in. And it's if you know where to look, you'll be able to find versions of it. But I'd say get it quickly if you want to, because it's going to be murdered everywhere.
Right.
Boo. And one other thing I'd like to talk about, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, of course.
Is a puzzle game called EXAPUNKS, which I am playing through at no speed whatsoever. It is a game where it's set in like an alternate cyberpunk 1990s, and you have to hack certain things. And it's sort of a program game. It's made by EXAPUNKS, who made like Infinifactory and Opus Magnum.
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
Those sort of guys. But in this one, you print out magazines, and then the magazines, like the in-world magazines, are the tutorials of how to do the things. So they look like this. I mean, these are the ones I got in the like physical edition. You can print out your own magazine. It tells you where to put the staples, and then you'll be told, "Hey, this is how." Hang on, let's find an interesting one. This is how to. Oh my god, I'm not even thinking about this stuff right now. Well, it's got this. This is the Tech Redshift. This is a fictional. Like Game Boy equivalent thing, and you could program games in this game into this virtual thing,
What?
and then you could share them with people because they share them as like a PNG file with all the data on it, and it looks like a little cartridge, and you can like decorate it on like some websites will let you decorate it, so you can actually decorate these cartridges and then just send people a picture of this cartridge. They literally drag the cartridge onto the game window, and then the game will be loaded up into it,
That's crazy.
which is so cool. But it is a brutal puzzle game. It really, because it's literally, it's literally programming.
It's
I mean,
another
this
one
is
that's just programming, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, but you've got like a maximum of 50 lines, and you can have as many of these little things that are called like the X's, the little robots that do stuff. And it is, I'm playing through it really slowly, and now off stream because I'm like, people hate me for this because it's like, okay, I'm going to do a puzzle 3 hours later. Okay, well, we made some progress.
Yeah. I feel like
That.
a lot of the Zachtronics games like sort of take complex ideas and try to make them a little more accessible. Does this feel like not like it doesn't really do that? Like it's just
Yeah, I have no program experience, and I managed to get through it. Why is that light about to explode? Sorry, my light's flickering. I'm being
If a
wise.
fire breaks out, we'll let you know.
yeah.
It's ghosts. But this is, I got the physical edition, and it came with this. It came with the secret envelope. I don't know what's in here because you have to open it when you finish the game.
Oh.
I'm never going to finish this game.
Yeah,
But
the
maybe
description.
that means you should stream it.
Yeah.
Get help to finish the game so you can
Get help.
finally open that
Hey, get help.
goddamn.
I need to get help.
Get help.
I do need to get help. I mean, one of the really neat things is because this cyberpunk future, like computer viruses are like infecting people. There's currently like a little mix between virus infected people, which means you can actually hack your own body to keep it going again. So you have to, at points in the game, like reprogram bits of your body and like use these little X's to keep your heart going and stuff like that. It's great. It's really fun. Fun's not the right word. It's really
Challenging.
challenging. Is not. It's like the Dark Souls of puzzle games. If Dark Souls was 1,000 times harder, and if you had to like stop before every fight and go, oh Jesus, I don't even what. But yeah, I really love it. Absolutely love it. It's definitely something, if you're a puzzle fan, you should pick up, because it is.
I mean, I just, from the description, it's like, you're trying to keep your body from transforming into computer parts. It's like, I'm like, bring it on. All the computer parts, please.
By the way, it's useless computer parts. You just turn into like junk.
Boo.
Because it's like an offshoot. They tried to like make biological things connect to computers, and it became a virus and like spread around amongst the populace. So that's the Odyssey, which I think is a really interesting world. But actually having to program these little tiny puzzles, but it's got one of the best multiplayer modes I've ever seen, because you write your code to like beat an AI, and like, because you've got to do this thing quickly. Well, not quickly, but you've got to like beat this AI to do a thing. You only got your 50 steps or 50 lines of programming. And then you basically save that, and that gets broadcast out, and then anybody can beat your guy, and then you beat them back. So it's like going back and forth, and like you're constantly rewriting everything because they're doing something you had no idea what to do. And I've lost friends because of.
Wow. I love when games affect the real world.
Elegant code that like takes these video files and put them in the right place. You're like, oh, it's so quick and brilliant, and they just come in and just like kill your guy, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that'll stop that. You have to try and like weave around them and stuff. It's great, genuinely.
This is the most overwhelming thing I've ever seen in my life.
It is pretty deep.
You need to look. Here's how to hack highway signs. Wow. But you get this like in the game. You can print this off. We can just use it as a PDF. But it's a beautiful thing.
With which one? Shenzhen.io.
Yes.
Had like an entire manual along with it too. Yeah.
Yeah, I like doing that thing. I like that it's like in universe as well. But it's and it comes with a physical one. Came with 3D glasses. What?
Oh, that's where you got the 3D glasses.
That's where my 3D glasses are on, because the Tech Redshift, you can actually program like 3D. You can program depth into it, so you can make these little 3D games. And everyone's already recreated like all of Super Mario Bros. And stuff like that. Because of course they do. That's what they do. That's the first thing they do. Yeah, it's lovely. That's the thing I've been playing and struggling with.
Nice.
Just remembered something else I played. It totally slipped my mind. Have you heard of Catastronauts?
No.
Where are you
Sounds so
finding
familiar.
these games?
Catastronauts, I think, literally came out this week. It's FTL meets Overcooked, and it's exactly that. So it's like it's the FTL kind of a ship turns up. Yeah, local multiplayer game, and you're controlling a little guy. So basically, it's literally FTL meets Overcooked is literally. It looks like Overcooked in a spaceship. Oh my god,
that's exactly what it looks like.
It's literally, and playing it is literally FTL meets Overcooked, but it is FTL meets Overcooked, and it is. Oh my god, it is so much fun. It's so much more hectic because everything is always on fire. Like in Overcooked, you're like, oh, we're not doing it right. And this is like, okay, everything's on fire. You have to repair things, put things out, and it's just, oh yeah, no, that's a game I'm playing.
Oh my
that's
god.
a fun one to put on and go, oh, we're dead. We're just like trying to work out. Like you turn a laser beam on, it's like, and you're like, oh, that's great, and you run away, and then it gets to the end, just explodes itself because that's the heat bar. You're like, right, I've learned that now.
Right.
It's great. If you want to lose friends, it's
Mario Party's out for that. You don't need to do anything else.
Fuck Mario Party. I hate fucking. I played on stream. We did one game of that, and I was like, turn one, I'm first. Turn two, I'm first. And and to the final turn, it's like no.
But
no.
is it evil?
No. I hate Mario. I've always hated Mario Party. So yeah, it's another Mario Party. Oh god. I was like Catastronauts. Yes. I like Catastronauts. You should play that. But yeah, I'll do that. It's just so angry. I got so angry playing it as well. I love a good multiplayer game like that.
I've been meaning to play Overcooked with Sam. Because,
that's the way to end marriages.
One of those, yeah, it's one of those games where every time you're like, we should play this together, everybody's like, can't wait to see the divorce. So
it either strengthens or it destroys. There is no middle ground.
There's no middle ground.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want a slightly more stressful one, then Catastronauts is for you.
More stressful than Overcooked?
Yeah, because in Overcooked you can like get into a rhythm and everything kind of goes fine, whereas in Catastronauts you are just literally always putting out fires because you're under attack. So it's like it's a lot more reactive.
I see.
So whereas Overcooked, you're like it's prep and it's knowing what to do. In Catastronauts, it's more like reacting to problems as a team who all need to do separate things, and sometimes even like in separate locations on these ships. Yeah. And then sometimes there's only one fire extinguisher and you have to like use teleporters to teleport around the place. My favorite part is there's missiles that you put in you have to like activate them, and then you have to run to the gun where you fire them from. And it takes 2 people to fire it, so you have to like organize when 2 people have to drop everything to run and jump on stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it's great. It's great fun.
It does not sound fun. It sounds terrible.
How about you, Jesse? Anything that you want to throw in there for what you? Yeah.
I've been just playing scary games, and some of them I can talk about and some I can't, because they're gonna be on Scary Game Squad. But we played Visage, or for some reason people keep telling me I should be saying Visage, which is not how you pronounce that.
Visage is how I've always heard it, but hey, you do you.
Visage?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Everyone, the other day someone was like, Visage? I was like, no, Visage. And they're like, no, that's wrong.
Yeah,
and I was
I've
what?
always heard it Visage.
I've never heard of it that pronounced that way. That's like that time I was playing WoW and some guy's like, watch out for the cadavers. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, the cadavers, they're coming. And I was like, cadavers? You mean cadavers? Yeah, Visage, or however you want to pronounce it, is like a really unsettling, scary game that's sort of along the lines of PT and not okay. They released an early access version, so some shit's like you can't do it. It gives you a game, but not the entire game. I don't know whatever, early access. So you get an early access scary game. And then I played a game the other night. Let me see if I can find it. It's on my desktop. It is called Tropical Liquor.
I'm liking the sound of this. Do go on.
It is an anime game that I saw. It was on my my wish list. I was like, I don't remember putting this there, but it was on my wish list, and it is a game very much akin to Honey Pop.
Oh.
And the whole premise is that you are on an island with a girl you know from like school, who's like your best friend from when you were kids, and then you meet a bunch of other women, and she's like, go out there and like, go get some, go do your thing. And so it has all the dating mechanics of you can either work during the day or go on walking dates with these girls and learn about them. And at night, you can either work at night, go to bed, or go on a drinking date with them. And so if you go out drinking with them, there are 3 levels of drinking, right? There's like medium or easy, medium, hard. And the way it works is that you are like a bunch of colored tiles drop into a glass, and then you press like another round or something, and the glass fills up, and you can no longer see what the tiles are, and you have to play a memory game. And if you fail at the memory game, you lose life. But if you succeed, they lose life, ? And at the end, they just get really drunk, and then clothes starts to come off. And then at the end of the date, like, depending on how difficult it is, like, more clothes can come off. And then they're like, well, that was fun. And then you, like, go your separate ways. And I always thought that was really funny. It's like you both get, like, bare-ass naked. You're like, all right, cool, see you later.
We did it.
Yeah. And then the next day, if you, like, really nail the drinking, then you go on a date, and then possibly you can, like, learn more about them. You learn like a secret thing about them, right? And during that date, they always get like bikinis, and you accidentally always, so far, the 3 women I've attempted to go on a date with have all just lost their tops while we're at the pool. And I'm like, why does this keep happening? So then eventually if you learn everything about a girl, which I think is like a very sweet thing, it isn't how drunk you get her, or isn't like how many dates you go on. When you learn everything about the girl, then you can say like, you're the one for me. And that's when you get your dirty ass hentai scene. It's great. But you have to select one. You cannot, in this game, you cannot bang every one of those girls. You have to pick the one that's right for you. Then you get your dirty ass hentai scene, and then the game just ends like, and then you had a great summer with this girl that you love very, very much. And I was like, that's cute.
Aww.
That's cute. This game isn't about like getting people super drunk and then like banging. It's like, you know what? You got drunk, you had fun, and then you moved on because you're an adult and you're not a creep. And I was like, good job, game. You're doing it. But so far I have hentai'd my way through The Best Friend, because I had to see where that story went. I've hentai'd my way through the cop/bartender, and I've hentai'd my way through the obvious only redhead in this story. So yeah, I did all that. There's a bunch of other ones. I'll get there eventually. But it's like...
I love how you're like, it's about love and commitment, but I went back and did them all.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Who do you think I am? Of course I'm going to go back and do them all. Are you kidding me?
Oh, Jesse motherfucking Cox, I do them all.
Kidding me? So that's what I did. But it's just a very, like, it's a bizarre mechanic that you're literally playing a memory game in the like as you drink, it gets harder and harder, and the more you drink, and the harder difficulty. So literally, it's kind of like a fun gimmick that like you can't remember shit as you drink more, and they try to switch up the puzzles. I don't know. It's like interesting. It's interesting, and I wouldn't ever say it's a good game, but like download that 18+ patch. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Get that shit. It's on their website. $0, 0 cents. Download that shit when you get the game.
What is the, like, is there monetization in with this? Or, because
No.
I'm looking at, like, it says something about, like, a next refill or something in the
No, the
matching
next
section?
refill is literally you getting new drinks. It's just really crappy English.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's just another round, and they just refill the drinks.
Okay, I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if it was one of those, like, oh, well, now you have to wait a certain amount of time before then.
Nope,
Okay,
nope. Next
gotcha.
refill is just bad English, and it's them saying like, "Oh, another round."
Gotcha. Okay.
And that's what starts the. It doesn't make much sense that you get the information, you get like the squares, and then they fill the drink, and then you can't see it, and then they drink it, and then new squares drop. It's like, oh, okay. But once you figure that shit out, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna spoil this for the world right now. People are probably like, Jesse, how did you blow through the game in one night in like an hour so quickly? Well, friends and internet people, it's called keeping Adobe Photoshop open on the side. And every time new things came up, print screen, and just move it over there. And I just click, 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 click. Oh, I remembered everything. Click, 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 click. So I just cheated. I cheated my way through all of it. And none of those anime girls figured it out. None of them knew that I was
None of them
playing,
caught wise.
playing all of them.
If only that worked in real life.
You know what? I would have that open all the time. Like, what are you looking at? Not Photoshop. Yeah.
It's like, can I just get your headshot and like a breakdown of all your drama, and I just need to put it in this PDF real quick on my phone, and I just need to.
Well, that's what this game. Yeah, that's what it's about. You learn everything about a person, and then you decide which one's the right one for you.
Right.
For me, it was the first one I learned about, and I was like, all right, banging her. And then I went back and learned, and I was like, I'm gonna choose this girl now, banging her. Yeah, it was great. It was real sweet. It's like a very romantic game.
Excellent. This is a game about love. It's like Deadpool. This is a story about love. It's a family movie.
Yeah, come on. You're stuck on an island. It's vacation time.
But I think I saw something in the game where it's like you can't drink on the public beach or something. I don't know. Maybe I read that wrong. I was scrolling
You can do whatever you want.
I was scrolling through the video and I'm like, wait,
this town
you
by the
can't
end of it.
drink on a public beach? What?
It's you, Photoshop. That's all you need to run.
Yeah, just you Photoshop. Yeah, and I was feeling good. The problem is that sometimes like they want you to buy them gifts, and you have to like be really observant. Like this one girl's like, I just want to draw, so I had to go out and buy markers. But like the only markers they had were the kind you smell, and so like I bought her smelling markers, and she was like, "These are okay, I guess." And I was like, "What do you want from me?" They didn't have any other markers. I'm trying here. Luckily,
drawing.
we
Buy
didn't
me
blank and
markers.
forgot about it. We got naked, and that was cool. So
Nice.
love is what I'm saying. Love.
Yeah, you fell in love.
It sounds like you're using like a Groundhog Day thing, actually, what it sounds like, just every day.
Yeah. Yeah, please.
Oh my god, Jesse caught in a Groundhog Day loop would be the worst for humanity.
No, wouldn't. I would things would be great. I'd finally get to like, oh yeah.
Speaking of the releases section, yeah, we're gonna try and wrap up here because we're running
God,
over.
Jesse, stop.
Jesse, just keep making that face over and over. That's probably gonna be the top clip of the stream at this point. Probably the top clip of the month. Actually, sometimes I go back and I look. Do you guys do that? Look at your top clip of the month, the one that people watch from like whatever. The top clips of the month have almost always been for this channel Jesse doing something very suggestive or talking about something very suggestive. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
The coxisms.
That has less to do with me and more to do with the audience of this podcast. Let's be real clear on that.
I know.
The people know what the people like. They are dirty as shit, every last one of them.
I have a game.
Oh, do you have a game? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's coming up.
Yeah.
It's called Spit Kiss.
Go
And
on.
It looks like it's originally meant for phones, but it looks fucking so weird. Is it a platformer? Is it a game where you just spit on other character? I don't know.
Is it like Suck and Blow, the party game, but gamified?
What's happened
Oh,
to this podcast?
this is weird looking.
Right?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's got like it's obviously very it has like areas to get through, like Super Meat Boy style almost. And I don't know if you're trying to get to the end to like spit on the other person. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
There are so many
I'm
questions.
gonna play it. It's just weird.
Oh my god. The reason why I know this game is because it won GTR 20. So this won an award at GTR 2017, which is the Australian thing that I went to last October.
What?
Which is that entire Games Week in Melbourne, Australia. This is one of the games that was featured there, along with the other game where there's like, I'm trying to think of the name of it, where it's the love story, where you like put the pieces of the love story together. That was on your phone that you could get. I'm trying to think what that one was called. Like, this was one of their weird experimental games, and I was like, what a bizarre game. It's finally out.
This is a bizarre game.
It's so great. I love weird ass games like this.
It looks cute. Like the way that it plays, it looks cute.
Yeah.
The tagline for it literally is what was it? A story of boundless love told through precision platforming. Sold.
Good.
That's fantastic. Nice. Yeah. I'm so happy to see all those games like that were just in development are now coming out. That's great.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of like what I actually care about in this list because Black Ops 4 is totally in that list.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that comes out October 12th for those interested. For Honor's DLC, thank God, coming out October 16th. Please let it infuse that game with some much needed content. Do you guys remember that Starlink game from E3 where you build your stuff on your controllers, the little ships on the controllers?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's coming out. Not touching that with a 10-foot pole, but that's coming out October 16th. Dark Souls Remastered on Switch is coming out October 19th, so that way we can stop playing all the games that we would prefer to be playing versus Dark Souls. It's like,
Hype!
very much hype.
Okay.
But it's like, am I going to stop playing Dead Cells because Dark Souls Remastered is on Switch?
Yes.
Maybe for a week. Maybe 2 weeks.
I'm excited.
Maybe. Soul Calibur 6 comes out October 19th. And then, of course, the get the hell away from our release date game, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red Dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
October 26th. Although, I will say, there is one game I must mention that comes out the day before because they got some balls. Actually, they just don't really care. Party Hard 2 is coming out on Steam October 25th.
Right.
I am so hyped for that game. I loved Party Hard 1.
I actually really enjoyed Party Hard 1 as well.
Yeah, I like the DLC for it too. I wish the DLC had come much sooner because I feel like a lot of people forgot about that game, and then the DLC came back and people were like, "Oh, that's a thing." But
Is Disgaea coming out, Jesse? Is that why?
Disgaea 1 Complete Edition coming out. I love this game.
Yes.
It's so good. Yeah.
Cool.
You should go back and you should now that they have a new super cool version, you should go and pick it up because it's like just a great RPG. So that's all I'll say about that.
Speaking of games that are already out, I'm on the Steam like front page right now, and until Friday, Ruiner is 60% off, and that game's fantastic. If you haven't played Ruiner, go try that out. It's so good.
One thing I did want to mention, I guess, about Red Dead is a lot of people are like, blah, no PC release. And I'm thinking that Rockstar usually have probably about 6 to 7 months before they throw something on PC. So, well, I wouldn't say that it won't come to PC. I still think a lot of people probably should go ahead and just get it for a console. I probably shouldn't say that, but it's like everybody's going to be talking about that game.
Right.
So, yeah, LA Noire took like 6 months. Trying to think of like what other Rockstar titles
Red
besides
Dead
GTA.
Redemption took many years at this point.
Red Dead never came out on PC.
Still waiting for that one. It's been quite a while.
Keep in mind that was like before a lot of the, I won't say technology existed because it did, just as far as resources were concerned. I don't think there was enough money in it at that point. But GTA 5 was like 5 months after because that was in between series of the PS3 and then moving to PS4. So I feel like they will. I feel like they can't ignore bringing it to PC, if I'm honest. But I also can't expect me to wait 7 months to play the game that's probably the most hyped up game of the year.
GTA 5 took a lot longer because it came out on PS3 and then there was a big gap for PS4 and then it came out on PC.
I mean, it's 17 months total if you want to count from the launch of GTA up to when it came to PC. But it was just, but if you're thinking of like from PS4 to Xbox One to PC, it was about 5 months. So I'm trying to, because I know that they were working on it. Yeah.
Yes,
so the generation gap, I feel like, was the thing. Also, if you do happen to enjoy Call of Duty 1, I don't know why you're watching the show, to enjoy that 50 gigabyte day one patch. Oh,
Yay!
I'm so psyched for that. Nope, not at all. Ooh. Yeah, so other than that, I think that's the majority of releases that I'm interested in. I don't know if you guys have any others you want to throw out there into the mix for the next couple weeks. Anything else?
The World Ends With You comes out on the Switch.
It does. Oh. I mentioned that on the last show. I'm so psyched for the remaster, mostly for the sound, because the soundtrack is so good.
It's one of my favorite ever RPGs. And it's going to be weird because I've only played it on the DS. And it's very dependent.
Tiny screen.
Yeah, but it's so dependent on having the 2 screens and a touch screen with stylus control. So it's going to be pretty much a completely different game.
If we're talking like coming soon, by the end of the month, Thronebreaker is going to be here, and I'm like super excited for that. New Witcher story stuff is always good. So
nice. And I want to say it's like the beginning of next month. That's when we have Fallout.
November 14th is Fallout 76. Okay. There was an event that was held. I got invited to it, but I was like, yo, I'm done doing stuff for the rest of the year. I love you, but it was held in West Virginia. It would have been so much like in West Virginia in the middle of nowhere.
I could have went. What?
It's like a Fallout 76 thing they just did. And I saw a lot of people went to it, and I'm sure they got to play it. And you know what? I hope, even though a lot of people are like, it seems pretty dumb to me, I hope it's worth at least a good few fun streams of like me going around and nuking people's homes, because that's what I really want out of this game. I really want to become the like prophet of death and be like, Lord beholdeth unto the people. I want to talk to them as I murder them. Oh man, I want to be the governor of Fallout 76. I really want to be a bad person. So if we can make that happen.
I am really sad.
It feels like something that's going to be. It feels like something that's going to be good for videos and streams and stuff. That's what I'm like. Yeah, that's good. And like, do you want to play that outside? No, that's.
I think I'll have to play it just to rip on it. So it's probably going to be one of the first games that I end up streaming, because being from West Virginia, I feel like there's just so much material there that I'm obligated, obligated. But it really amuses me that Bethesda actually had an event in West Virginia. Like, I'm trying to think of the least crappiest place in West Virginia that they could have actually held this at. And
it was in the hotel that's from the game. That's where they had it.
Oh,
yeah, man. I was invited to it as well. I was like, West Virginia. But there's a hotel in the game that's like a big deal in the game or something. But they actually were in that hotel, so you can actually, one of the bits they showed off was that hotel in the game while the people were in the hotel.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very, very cool. Like I like they're going all out with it. There's 2 things I want to do. 1, find Mothman. 2, nuke people's homes. That's it. Once I'm done, I'll be like, that was a fun experience for me. I feel like this is one of those things where you got to go into it and accept that it's not going to be Fallout.
Oh,
just accept that's not what it's going to be, and you'll be fine. But people are just so caught up in like, I wanted my new Fallout, and I didn't get my new Fallout, and I'm so mad. Like, all right, there's other games. Like, if that's not your jam, around the same time a bunch of other games come out. Like,
true.
There's a new Darksiders coming. How the fuck did that happen?
Right?
Can I tell you what's crazy? In the month of November, not only is there new Darksiders, but there's a new Laser Shoot Larry game. What is happening in our reality?
Yeah, what
Sierra Games is back. Oh, more Police Quest. That'll be the best thing. I love a good Sierra adventure game. Oh, there's something on the floor. You picked it up. It's lacerated your arm. You're dead now.
Yep.
Sierra.
So what's coming up on your guys' channel? Sorry, we are running a little bit over today. Who wants to start?
I can go.
Okay.
Mine's the same as always. And I stream a lot. You can come watch me on twitch.tv/DexBonus, and I'm at DexBonus on pretty much everything else. I haven't put anything up on YouTube in quite a hot minute, many months. So yeah, if you'd like to come watch our streams, we got a good, wholesome, fun community, despite the fact that I say fuck a lot. So if that sounds like a good Venn diagram
Mom of the year
of things that you like, yeah. And, hang out.
All right, Jesse, what's
Can
coming
I
up
tell
for
you guys? Sure, yeah. On my channel, there is going to be Scary Game Squad, a bunch of it. It's October, so that's going to happen. And Oktoberfest, where I drink and stream, that's probably going to happen too. But I want to let you know something crazy that I learned. It probably affects Dodger immensely.
Uh-oh.
YouTube has an audio algorithm that picks out swear words. So if you
Whoa.
if you start doing like putting streams and shit on YouTube where you're just like fuck, it'll like pick up on that and not send it. It'll be like, no, we're not going to send that to people.
Wow.
Like, so
Amazing.
if you're wondering about swear word, like YouTube's algorithms are like, no, we don't want people to see that, because the more people see that stuff, the more they'll get offended and the more they'll complain. So like,
That explains a lot about my analytics lately.
yeah. So if the more
Well
you
then.
vocally swear, it doesn't even have to be typed. The more you just say bad words, it'll pick up on it, which is why when I say cocks, YouTube flags cock.
Whoa. Whoa.
No,
Yep.
that sucks. What?
Yep.
That's
Like,
my
that's
name-
my
so
goddamn
bad.
name.
My name, literally, I have a thing that like pops up like, these are the bad words that YouTube might identify every time. My name is a problem.
What the fuck?
Bad.
Yeah. So-
Literally
Bad.
in your outro, you yell, "You got cocks."
Yeah. Yeah.
You're fucked.
Yeah. I'm
I
done.
can't even. Oh my god.
So there you go. That's my pro tip for everyone. If you're gonna continue with YouTube, don't swear. Say gosh darn it a lot.
I never used to. My YouTube was no swears ever, and then I started streaming, and it all fell apart.
That's what happens when you can't edit. The real you comes through.
The real me is out there now.
Foul-mouthed
Yeah.
sailor.
Fuck.
The real you doesn't have like the coffee machine right next to the computer to refill the coffee, so you feel the jitters and then the things, the
Right,
words,
right.
they come out of your mouth. You have no idea what to do.
Falls apart.
Yeah. How about you, Dan? What's coming up for you on your channel?
Many things. I'm currently playing through Spider-Man. I have a Sims 4 thing which has gone incredibly wrong. I put a lot of bros in one house, and now they all seem to have developed families. And now one of them runs a restaurant. Also, one of them is a detective. And there's one guy who just gets abducted by aliens constantly.
Has he
At this
come
point.
back pregnant ever?
No, is that a thing that can happen?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Oh, man. you gotta get that boy pregnant. They're trying so hard to get.
I mean, he's already dating an alien.
won't
Is the
take
thing?
him.
He's like
He's
already
dating an
dating.
alien.
Yeah, he's dating and has had a kid with an alien. With an alien.
Oh man.
That's a bit okay. Well, that's something to look out for.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm mostly
keep your
just do
eyes peeled.
streaming. I do streaming stuff on twitch.tv/NerdCubed, I think, and I'm going through Assassin's Creed Odyssey and random other stuff. What I have, but also to get this video destroyed, I've written a book that I'm going to do. Oh, look, I've put a thing on here to remember. If you head over to Unbound, which is publishing it, and find it, or just search "fuck yeah video games" on the YouTubes, the first chapter is actually available to read, so you can actually see if it's something you're interested in.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
in a week's time, we actually have to start closing some of the reward tiers and stuff, so you'll no longer be able to get your name in the back of the book. Because I'm going to have a credit, which they've done in every book. We've got 8,600 names to somehow fit in the name of this so far.
Wow. That's
So that's going to be
impressive.
fun. Well, yeah, so we're capping that off. But the first chapter, you can just go and read the first chapter now. It's about The Sims. Actually, it's about my dad in The Sims. And it's, just go read it. It'll give you a taste of what the book's like. Hey, when I played The Sims the first time, the first favorite character I made was my dad, and I remember that, and I wrote out his story. And at the end of it, you'll either go, "Oh, I'm going to buy that because that was funny," or "Oh my god, this guy's a monster." One of the two.
I take it.
You are, yeah.
Stuck him in a pool and he never got out. The end.
God bless The Sims 1. Taught me so much about water safety.
It really was.
Yeah, so I have some travel, I think that's booked at the end of this month. Not really 100% sure what's going on. I'm supposed to be going to Hamburg in Germany because when you go to Germany, you really want to go to Hamburg. That's totally top of my list.
Going to Germany?
Yeah, the end of the month,
What you
possibly.
doing in Germany, girl?
Something with ESL. and I can't talk about it.
Cool.
English is
And
second language. I appreciate it.
And then I think after that, BlizzCon is like the first week of November. So I'll be out there. I don't know if we'll be able to do like maybe a live optional like we sometimes used to do. I'm not sure because now Brooke is at her home and not in the office. So it's like, dude, what do we do?
Come in.
Yeah.
I can come in if I need to. Yeah.
But yeah, so clearly I've been working on some stuff for BlizzCon. I mean, this is like one of 4 cosplays, I think. This big, heavy, like this is huge.
Oh, yeah.
And my lighting is almost done for it. It broke once, so I had to take it apart, all the resin, and rewire it and solder it, and I am that girl right now. But yeah, so Jaina in the house, but not one, but 2 versions of Jaina. So we have Wintervale Jaina. So I can represent like every franchise because I have Mouthvale from Diablo. I have Wintervale Jaina from Hearthstone. I have Battle for Azeroth Jaina from World of Warcraft. The only thing I don't have this year is something for StarCraft, and I'm really disappointed about that, but to be fair...
Don't worry, Blizzard doesn't have anything for StarCraft either.
Hey! That is so not cool, especially after Mike Morheim just stepped down. Like,
I got nothing
bad,
for it.
bad. Oh, gosh, this is heavy. It's like, I could just bring the Space Marine and repaint it. I don't think anyone would actually notice. I could Rainer it up. just bring it.
Telling you, Diablo is the thing this year.
Diablo is totally the thing this year.
Diablo's
I'm
gonna
so
be the thing.
psyched. Yes. Super psyched. So yeah, I've been busy with things that don't create an income for myself, which needs to stop. I need to make videos. But YouTube sucks lately. Anyway, yeah. So with that being said, thank you so much to Dan for joining us today. I appreciate it very much. And thank you very much to Brooke and Jesse for joining us as per usual.
Nothing.
Girl, please. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. And hopefully we will see you next week. Again, no idea who our guest will be because I don't know. I have visions of people who I want to show up, but they're always so busy, like making money and doing things in the real world. And they got stuff going on and I'm jealous. Dan wrote a book and he was still able to come on the show.
I wrote it a while ago.
Shh. I'm trying to state my case for future guests.
You've all gone 3D.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been the Co-optional Podcast, and we will see you next time. Bye everybody.